Good evening, everyone. Late as usual. Sorry about that. How's everyone doing this evening? It's good to see y'all. I wasn't talking to myself this time, Dorinda. I'm trying to find a spot to do these. I need to make a spot for the winter. It's too cold outside and can't wake up the girls, so need a spot to do these. So you're not seeing a ball talking. I'm going to drop a link if any of y'all want to jump up here. Not in the bathroom, but in my bedroom. Yeah. So it's Veterans Day, and Liberty Warrior Nation. That was a pretty good show, I thought. You got to yell down there.
Holy crap, you don't have to make me so big.
I'm sorry. Why are you?
I have no idea. There, that's better. Wow. I did my nails today.
Awesome.
I did acrylic nails this time, not just the glue-on kind.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
You treated yourself.
Yes. And I took my daughter shopping with me today so I wouldn't go nuts at the dollar store or the Dollar Tree because we went to both, or Canadian Tire because we went there too. And I talked to my pharmacist today about I'm taking these venlafaxine pills that are for like antidepressants and that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking to him about getting myself off of them.
Oh, wow.
Because I said, I'm feeling so good and I don't really think I need them anymore. So he explained to me how to wean myself off of them so I don't go from feeling to down the toilet.
Yes.
So I'm glad I talked to him. So now I feel better about that. Hey, Heather, how's it going?
That's good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
I loved your show today. I watched it.
Yeah, it was
after
pretty
I got
awesome.
home. It was. I was chatting in there like I was on the damn show. I left
know,
6 messages. 6 messages on there. When the show was over, I'm like, Jesus, how many messages? Like, because I was sitting there and I was watching it, I was typing away, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, I don't even know if she's even gonna notice these comments, but I'm gonna send them anyway. Yeah, 6 of them I sent you.
Yeah, it was a good.
I even curled my hair a little bit, just the top of my head, so it doesn't look so. Well, it looks kind of
looks
screwed up
gorgeous.
right now.
You look very nice tonight, Dorinda.
Thank you very, very much.
I know. I've been like, and so I was told that it's okay to pamper yourself.
Yes, it is. I've learned
Yes,
that over the
it is.
last year and a half. I used to think going for a shit was pampering myself. That was time for me.
Well, I always felt guilty whenever I'd go shopping for something for me or So I wear clothes till they're just like falling into rags, and I have learned that it's okay to spend money on me. Doesn't have to be everybody else.
That's a tough one for most mamas too.
It is.
So did everybody have a wonderful day?
Lazy day.
You had a lazy day today, Bonnie? What'd you do? Nothing?
Yeah. Because I know the weekend's coming and I'm going to be babysitting all weekend. So I enjoyed just peace and quiet. Me.
Awesome. I'm
It's
glad
been
you took
raining
the
here
break.
for the past couple hours.
Oh, by the way, Heather,
There's
I
Pappy.
also sent you a message today. We have a weather warning in our area today for high winds and rain. And guess what? It came from Minnesota.
Right up to Canada and straight back down into Ohio. I tell you what,
I just thought you'd get a kick out of that.
oh yeah. It's like it's playing ping pong with us.
That's awesome, Robert. I'm so glad she's feeling
Not
better.
ping pong. Pinball.
Hey, Fluffy, hey, NC girl. Oh, was that me echoing? Why?
I don't know. You have YouTube on?
I paused it. It's gone now.
You know, now that Pappy's here, I was just thinking about something, and I wanted to ask him, and I forgot to ask him earlier. But Pappy, would you be so kind as to send me that teaching that you read today on our show? Because I'd really love to have a copy of that. That's your choice, but
Heather, what was the recipe
I
that
just
Chuck
needed to
sent
ask
you
that.
today?
It's like a chicken tetrazzini.
I
Ah,
screenshotted it. It didn't come out in order, so you had to kind of go up and down.
Oh, sorry.
Can you copy it to private chat so I can get it?
Um,
One of you, I don't care who it is, but I couldn't see chat when I was watching it later.
Oh, okay. Well, we noticed that it does it for some shows and not for other ones, and we're not sure
Yeah,
what that's about.
Other times I've seen the chat, and today I couldn't see it at all. It wasn't there. I'm like, oh damn! But I was busy, and I was chatting with you too, even though you couldn't hear me.
That's awesome.
Okay, hello, I'm just a goofball. Hello. But I was having fun, and I was smiling and laughing the whole damn time.
That's good. That's exactly what we want.
Yep. I like when you came on and you said, so how's everybody today? I'm like, I'm feeling really good today. Da, 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 da.
That's awesome.
I was having the conversation with you and nobody was hearing me except for people in my house.
You know, that just tickles me. I love that. I do. I just absolutely love that.
Other people's shows I watch, I just sit quietly and watch. But yours, I have to get involved. Even though I'm not there, I'm
That's
still
awesome.
involved.
Yep.
I just wanted to let you know how much of a goofball I am. That's all, Heather.
Oh, honey, that doesn't make you sound goofy to me. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, I love your show.
What's that yawning already?
I know. It's raining here, so I got a little bit of pressure
That's
going
raining
on.
here too. And the winds are really high here today.
Yeah, they're not as high here. Earlier, they were blowing and gushing.
On the radio, which is an American channel, he said it could get as high as 98 kilometers or 98 miles per hour.
Wow.
I haven't seen it that high. I'd say more like 40 or 50, but that's still pretty. The trees are moving like crazy.
Right? Trees are having their last dance, huh?
Yeah, and all the leaves are falling off. It's just bad. The only ones that still have the leaves in my area right now are all the short trees.
That's about the same here.
Yeah,
and the oaks. Nice. Well, actually, no. I think we got more maples out there with leaves on than we do oaks.
Most of our maples have already lost their trees here. Or sorry, lost their leaves, not their trees.
Really? Wow. That's pretty cool.
Well, you never know. Some of them might be down by morning. Who knows?
This is true.
It's always windy.
Robert's bragging about sending all that rain our way to you and then on to me.
Well, we might be getting it at the same time from the same system.
Right?
Yeah. But this time it did come from the state, so I just wanted to, stick that in there.
I thought Canadians just blamed their bad weather on Russia, but I guess I'm wrong.
You looked so beautiful today, Heather.
Oh, thank you.
And that necklace was gorgeous. I didn't comment on the necklace, but I did say you look beautiful when I did my chats. Hey, Pappy, how's it going?
Yes, and I appreciate that.
Who's here? I can't see anybody.
That was awesome on Heather's show today. That fit right in. Hey, we see Bonnie. Oh, she disappeared. She's eating icing.
Yeah, that was
synchronicity.
Talk about synchronicity. That was interesting, right? How that come together. Yeah.
There you go, Bonnie.
You're eating icing too.
See what I started?
And peanut butter.
And peanut butter.
Right.
I just got done with some leftover Spanish rice. It was good.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, when the next day, after my wife makes her Spanish rice, which is close to my mother's recipe that I remember. But the next day, when you heat it up, and then you put it inside of flour tortillas and roll it up, and you got a Spanish rice burrito. Now you're talking real food.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds good. That makes my stomach.
My mother-in-law grew some wild rice in her yard, in her little creek river that she lived on, and she sent it to me, but she didn't send me any instructions on how to cook it. And I was making cabbage rolls, so I had my minute rice, and I threw in some wild rice because I didn't know how to cook it, and I cooked it like the minute rice and mixed it up with my whatever and rolled it up in my cabbage rolls and put the sauce on and baked it for 4 or 5, 6 hours, whatever it was. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Was it so good? And I was telling Grandma what I did, what I did. And she's like, well, you have to make it for me. I said, okay, I'll make it tomorrow. We'll come for supper tomorrow night. Okay. So I made it for her. She loved it. Thank you, Grandma.
I bet.
And all you did was change the rice.
Mm-hmm. No, I added both the minute rice and the wild rice.
Well, they just showed that us old folks can learn from the younger folks sometimes.
Well, she never did tell me how to cook it.
How does you like Spanish rice?
What's that? You asked me how my wife made Spanish rice? Oh okay. No, she keeps that a secret. Oh no. She followed my mother's recipe. My mother says, you mix all that stuff together, you put it in the oven. When it smells good, you take it out and eat it.
In the oven?
That's like
Yeah.
my sister one time asked me how to tell if the potatoes were done in the TV dinners. That you used to put with a tin foil tray you'd put in the oven and blah blah blah, right? My comment to her is when you stick your finger in the potatoes and it burns your finger, then it's done.
Right?
I thought it was a good reason. That's how I tested it. Well, my mother wasn't too impressed with that. I said, well, how do you tell? She said, I stick a fork in it and taste it. I said, no, I stick my finger in it. I don't give a shit. It's my food.
If you see the smoke coming out of the stove, you know your timer's broke.
Here, Robert. I think I saw Joseph. Hi, y'all.
Come on up, Robert. Come on up, Victor. Come on up, NC girl. Let's have a party. A pepper party.
Gotta wait a couple more days. Saturday.
No, you're babysitting Saturday.
I'm hoping I'm
What's
not
Saturday?
the games.
What game?
Saturday night's all right. You got to answer everything with a song.
Basic
Yeah.
rules.
You don't have to
That'll be
sing
fun.
it. You can just say the words if you want to, but yep.
What game are you talking about, Bonnie?
It's a made up game.
Oh. Okay.
Aren't those the best ones?
Yes, they are.
Yes,
You never
ma'am.
know what the hell's going to come out of people's face.
That's right.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
So, Pappy, can I ask a question? Are you still with
Yeah.
us?
Let me take the weeds out of my ears. What do you need?
The what?
The weeds are in my ears and also cover my eyes.
Okay. In the chat, I had seen a bunch of comments about hating civilians.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Is
Where?
that common, or is there a reason for it?
Let's put it this way, okay? That is common talk amongst military people, and they don't mean it at all. Okay, what
Okay.
that is, I mean, they may think they mean it, but in actuality, they don't. What that is the differentiation of what they went through to become who they are, and the esprit de corps. In other words, that separation of them stepping into a avocation or a job or a thing that they are going to be called upon to do something else above and beyond what the normal person would be called upon. Okay. And that was common. I found that to be common in troops that never stayed for the full career, never retired. Okay. The younger ones, they would do 1, 2, 3 tours of duty, or enlistments or whatever, but they never stayed for the whole thing. They never experienced the rest of it. And very much so, to me, that is the warrior mentality of the young warriors, the fighters, those that go in and go do it. I'm better, I'll do this, we're willing to give our lives for that, da, da, da. And therefore, they keep themselves pumped up for that potential, that possibility. However, inside what they're carrying is what the old soldier will display later on. And that's what I call the warrior poet. Okay. The warrior monk. The one that is is now free to express inside the importance of why they did what they did as warriors in the younger time. Because even though they say these things, especially, and it's even worse when they get around amongst themselves, because all those stories take on a life of, well, oh, you think that was rough? Here, hold my beer. I'm going to tell you about this.
Yeah. Like the
That
fishing
sort of
stories.
thing. And you find the same thing whether you're talking to a group of fishermen,
Yes.
a group of hunters, or a
Yeah.
group of housewives sitting around saying who's got the best seamstress abilities.
Yeah.
That
True.
seems to be part of our human nature. It's no different, but it can be abrasive and it can be offensive and show no tact when these things are released out there, because when we have shows like we watched tonight, as you noticed, I didn't participate too much.
Yes.
I'm one to sit back and watch a lot of what's going on. Okay. So, and I kind of realize what's going on. So when you see that and people get into reliving those times, those memories, those sections of their life with somebody else that has that in common, it's very common to revert right back to everything, because the memories are triggered, the
Yeah.
emotions are triggered, the mentality is triggered, everything. Okay. When they get a little bit older, then you can put stuff into more perspective. For
Any
example, myself, I know that there would not have been a military if it had not been for those civilians who supported us,
Right.
or have developed a way of life that was so important that we took an oath to defend it. You see what I'm saying? And even
Understood.
though, for example, like when I come back from the Vietnam time frame, right in the middle of all the protests and everything else, we were not well treated.
No, I know.
Okay? Because we were the target for the anger, the frustration, and things that we were a symbol of that. And a lot of people took that and they took it very personal and they carried it forever, and that forever tainted their outlook. So I look at those things. I see where they're coming from. Unfortunately, what you'll find is that, and like in any profession, you'll have those that'll hold on to that, and it becomes their reality. They won't back off of it at all. Okay, they don't get into the philosophical side of themselves anymore. Okay, but that's human nature. That's going to happen. And I know that it upset some people and it hurt some people, because it felt, those people that were offended by that or taken aback by that were immediately felt as if they were being chastised, being
Right.
cast aside, being belittled, being put beneath,
I saw
and
that.
and the guys that talk that stuff, okay, very frankly, I put in the same category that I put in politicians, the same arena.
Yeah.
Mm,
And what is that category? They forgot who they work for.
yes.
Well,
Well,
I
and
know any of the people that were in like World War II. We'll say for an example, because I know people that were in World War II. They never talked about what happened to them over there.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't talk about it at all.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't. I mean, well, these types of experiences that you have can be so horrific, you know, uh,
Yes.
even though they were necessary, you know, bringing, just like we talk about lots of times, what there's a couple of different things with this type of energy. You can devote your energy to it to the point that it takes on a life again, and it becomes a self-sustaining, self-feeding energy that stays with you all the time. Or you can devote your energy to healing it and letting it go. And if you heal it and let it go, it loses its power over you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a lot of the people that came back, they did exactly that with the traumas and the things that they were required to do in order to facilitate the completion of the job that they had to do. Okay, and we can leave that behind. You know what I'm saying? Those that couldn't leave it behind, they were the ones that suffered greatly. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Anna.
And I'm going to
How's
take
Sage?
a break. Let's see what Anna's going to show us.
Oh, look at her.
Probably refresh.
Hi, I'm trying to. I think I
Full
might have
screen,
to.
Let me refresh real quick.
Let me see if I can. Oh,
She'll
where'd she
come
go?
back.
What happened?
She'll come back.
We'll
She had
go
to
refresh.
reboot.
Oh,
White rice with Mexican meat with chili. That sounds pretty good. Victor? We got rice on the brain tonight.
Robert's got standing on his head up on the brain tonight. I've seen that 2 or 3 times. We're waiting for King.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, the one that's not talking, remove from your screen, and then
Kick us
you'll
out.
be good. The one that's not talking.
you.
I'm like
There
looking
we
at
go.
him.
Okay.
Twice as nice.
I had bifocals and I missed bifocals.
Well, I know the reception after World War II was completely different than the reception
From the Vietnam.
from Vietnam. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I don't remember what it was like after the Korean War. I know my stepfather was in Korea and Vietnam, but he doesn't talk about it much.
No. A lot of people that were in any type of war, unless they're with the boys, the group, whatever, they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Like even the old guys at the Legion wouldn't talk about it at the Legion.
Yeah. But it just I saw what was going on in chat, and I kind of felt that because I know that you know, the women especially, they were left behind to keep things running. I wish I could figure out how to put her on big screen.
Oh, look at that little peanut.
You can put her as solo layout.
Yep.
Go to her box, and there should be a little box in the left-hand upper corner of her
Got
picture.
it. There's a baby.
Look at her.
Oh,
And I bet all your other puppies, they're so happy she's home.
Oh, they are. She's doing so good. She's still pretty weak, but she's on some heavy duty painkillers.
No.
Getting a kiss from the anti-duty.
she's saying, why are all these people kissing me between my eyes?
Oh, the ladies and the doctors and everybody all fell so in love with her.
Hey, Mama,
They
she
didn't
brought
want
little
us to
Sage
take her
today.
home. So we had to promise we'd bring her back for visits because they all loved her so much.
Awesome.
First time she was ever at that clinic. I don't know if I got to tell you what happened. We were rejected by the clinic we always go to. The receptionist told us that none of the doctors were in yet and kind of overstepped her bounds and said that we wouldn't be able to bring her in. We asked if we could at least get her in there to see if they could give her some fluids. And anyway, she overstepped her bounds and said absolutely not. And so we searched and searched till we found someone that would decided that, yeah, she needed to be seen right away. And it was a good thing. And we're so happy she's home. And
That's
she
awesome.
wasn't eating, but she's eating now because she's at home and happy.
It's funny how you were led to the people that have heart.
Yes.
And did
Yes.
you call your old vet back and tell him?
We didn't. Well, Judy did end up calling them and asking for our records so that we can transfer to a vet that gives a darn. And
There you go.
we have always referred other people to them, and the doctors were always so good to us. And the doctor that took care of Sage and did the surgery called them and is going to report them. So kind of through the grapevine, I take it that a receptionist no longer has a job because she overstepped her bounds.
Good.
Good.
So anyhow, I just wanted to check in with her. She just had her pain shot and everything. So I don't know, sometimes they can get a little nausea and stuff. So I gotta keep an eye on her here. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for all your prayers and concerns. But I just needed to share her with you.
Thank
Awesome.
you, Amy.
Thank you so much
Love you.
Oh,
for
you're
sharing
welcome.
with us. All right, we love you.
We love you too.
Bye, Anna.
Say goodnight, Sagey.
We're with you.
Bye, bye, beautiful.
She's such a little peanut.
Okay, but when she's up running around in the next couple of days, you're gonna have to come back up and show us all that too.
Okay.
Aha.
Hopefully there won't be snow. We're supposed to get snow later tonight. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you, Victor,
Aw.
for saying that. Definitely. A thank you to all who served.
Yes,
Or
definitely.
even thought of serving. Put it that way. Because my son wanted to be in the army like you would not believe. But he was playing football and he got hurt as he was going through the part of getting, into the army and blah blah blah. He got hurt, he hurt his back in football.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't let him join.
Yep.
It devastated him. He had foxholes in the backyard, for Christ's sakes.
My second son, he was working for our electric company and he got Achilles heel.
Yep.
And then he joined the army and he was in boot camp and with the marching and the wearing the boots all the time, and he got stress fractures, ankles, knees. So they put him in the infirmary for 8 weeks. And so we were waiting to see what they were going to do with him. He was up in Chicago, freezing cold. And they finally sent him home. So he didn't get to finish. He was very disappointed.
Yeah, my son, he cried for fucking 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
All he would do, and he wouldn't talk to his friends. He wouldn't talk to anybody. He sat in his room and cried for 3 weeks.
Yeah. That's
And then his buddy came over who was in the army and came over and went up in his room and like blasted the shit out of him.
good.
And told him to get off his fucking ass and stop being a sucky baby and just get on with your goddamn life.
Yeah.
Just because
Sometimes they need that.
you can't go in the army doesn't mean that you're not a good person.
That's right.
And that's what his best friend told him. And he came downstairs and he apologized to everyone in the house because all he did was scream and cry for 3 fucking weeks.
That's what I could tell my son. This does not mean you failed. You tried.
Yep. And I said, Rayvon, I said, maybe when your back's better, you can do it. But because they already have it on file that he has a back injury, they won't let him in.
Yeah.
He did try to go back and they said, honey, with your back injury, you can't.
Yeah.
And he's like, damn it. I really wanted to be in the army.
You know,
I wanted to fight for my country.
yeah.
Is exactly what he said. And you know what? He's still fighting for his country.
And that's what I was going to say. There's more ways than one to do that.
Yep.
Right now, especially.
He's so disappointed in our country right now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
you do not have to put on a uniform to fight for anything.
Nope.
You just have to put on the appropriate armor, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, and set your intent. I mean, you may not be one to be able to be selected by others to go fight battles for other people, but you may be called upon to go fight your own battles.
Yep.
You know, that end up benefiting other people. You know, there's lots of different ways to be a useful combatant, if you will, in the fight against good and evil, whether it's an inner struggle or it's an interpersonal struggle or it's an intercultural relationship struggle. You know, if you look at it in that manner, then yes, you're free to fight your battles.
Yes.
You know, and
you don't have to be a warrior right here at home.
You know, you don't have to do it.
Very good comment. Thank you.
Yeah.
God always has perfect timing. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And thank you for your service, Pappy.
Very much so. Thank you, Pappy. And I said that to you this afternoon when I was watching Heather's show. I was having a whole grand conversation with you guys and nobody could hear me. I sat there for the 2 hours or 3 hours, however long the show was, walking away, writing in chat. I was having a grand old time, talking away as if I was there.
Yeah, didn't even see you at all.
I wasn't home. I watched it later.
We felt your energy.
I'm going to have to rewatch it because I fell asleep.
It was a high energy day.
I know.
It was. And Heather looked so beautiful. I had to say it again.
You got to thank Bonnie for that because she was the one who sent us that wonderful gift.
Yes.
No.
Thank you, Bonnie. Heather looked
Which
very
Raina
beautiful.
asked if she could watch.
Heather looked very beautiful in the blue dress you sent.
But she was glowing anyway.
Yeah, she was glowing today.
Maybe it is.
I want to thank Anna for bringing up that wonderful burst of just beautiful energy when she came up with her little sage.
Yes.
Did everybody see the campfire just get nice and bright and everything and nice and warm?
Yes. And the love was flowing. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I changed the picture for a minute.
It has certainly been a very high energy day.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
I'm going to pass out like a 5-year-old with a sugar rush tonight. I just know it.
Yep.
Well, I think one of the things I found something noticeable today about the energy. I don't know if anyone else has. We've all been commenting on it. Okay. But it seems like we're taking a step up in energy frequency.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I think we're actually on a stairway of frequency increases. I think we're going to see more of these coming.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. It feels
That's exciting.
beautiful.
I think so.
Let's all dance up and down the stairs.
Anticipation.
The ladies with the big flowy gowns and the gentlemen with the top hats and tails.
Don't think I can dance up and down stairs, but I'll be dancing.
I told you guys I have a really wild imagination. Yes, she does.
I'll be like that guy I'm putting on the Rich and the Young Frankenstein.
I haven't been in a flowing dress, and my husband hasn't been in a tails and a hat since our wedding.
Listen. Okay, long flowy dresses are good for being barefoot, so you don't even have to wear heels. Don't even think about it.
Yes.
That is the glory of a long flowy dress. Nobody can tell if you're barefoot under it.
Yep.
Let me know when you find some of those. I want one.
Just make them.
Ugh.
You know, long flowing clothes is such a blessing sometimes. I went out today because my wife had won some, a little bit of money on a scratch ticket, so I wanted to cash it in for her and get her some more. And I went down to the store and I went in there and I went all the way back. Thank God I had one of my extra large shirts on untucked because I forgot to zip my trousers.
You're all excited.
Is that one of those life's most embarrassing moments?
No, my shirt was covering it.
Yeah.
I can get away with it. I'm old.
Yeah.
I have one of them senior moments.
That's
I know
okay.
how to selectively use excuses,
I was gonna say.
One day at work, I had my my work pants on backwards. Okay, didn't notice it all day at work. Da 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 da. I came home and found out my pants were on backwards when I took them off. And I'm like, nobody freaking said anything. So I said to the manager in the morning, I said, you're no fun anymore. And she says, what the hell are you talking about? I said, yesterday I had my pants on backwards. I says, not one person said anything to me. And she goes, you had your pants on backwards? I said, yeah, the pockets were in the back instead of the front. And she goes, you're wearing a vest. We can't see the goddamn pockets anyway. I'm like, well, okay.
Well, that just shows where we put our emphasis. It isn't on the outer appearance.
Nope.
And that's good.
Yeah.
I did my best for you today. I put my pants on. I'm gonna be better if I put her on.
At least I wasn't in mine, but underwear.
Yeah, I wasn't in my underwear. Well, want me to be in my underwear?
Talking about uniforms that we mentioned earlier. In the military, they're very meticulous about your uniforms and appearance and all that sort of stuff. They were constantly on it.
Yes.
And as I got up in higher rank and stuff, you have to set the example. So your uniform should always try to be impeccable. Well creased, all the buttons there, no strings hanging off any buttons. All these sort of things that they indoctrinate into us. So I had gone shopping one time in a commissary on the way home, and so I'm shopping various different things, and I get up to the counter and I was getting some rather odd looks, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Now I had camouflage fatigues on. They were starched, they were well pressed and everything, because I think I was an E7 at that time, maybe. But anyways, the highly shined boots, everything like that, and I couldn't figure out why I was getting odd looks, and I got like a smile from the lady at the register as I checked out. Well, as I'm putting the stuff outside, putting the stuff away from the car, I happened to look down at my uniform, and there, stuck on my uniform at the bottom of my jacket, was one of those fluorescent orange signs that said on sale special today. They come off one of the packages or something when I was leaning over to get something. I think out of the meat markets or whatever,
Yep.
So yeah, you can have your embarrassing moments if you're wrapped up in your impeccability of your outward
That's when you say, I'm starting a new fad. It's like Mini Pearl, only better.
Yeah, Mini Pearl with a tag hanging. Yep.
That's when you say, okay, start the bidding.
I agree.
Yep, I put a blue and a black sock on, you know, because you can't tell the difference in the dim light. You know what I'm saying? Until you'll notice it later
Yes.
on.
Yep.
And I never really had that problem too often much until after I got out of the military. 'Cause I never really worried too much about what I had to wear. They kind of told me what I had to wear every day, so I didn't have a lot of civilian clothes to change into.
Yeah.
Lots of times I'd get home, I'd just take my military jacket off and run around with my military trousers until it was bedtime, you know, and that's the way I run around.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I always tell the girls. We'll be out somewhere doing something and get back in the car. You have a piece of pepper or food or something in between your teeth. Oh, and now you're telling me thank you. Best friends and kids are supposed to save you from that embarrassment.
Yep. But they don't.
No.
Yeah, they want you to see how long it takes you before you recognize it, that it's there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm gonna look in the mirror, right? No. Oh, I'm glad she's snoring, Anna.
Yeah.
She's going to heal up quick now that she's home.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
so
yeah.
too.
Love is probably the strongest medicine next to Creator.
Yeah.
Yes. That's when they told me I had pneumonia and I couldn't even walk. I was like, oh, you're not keeping me. I'm going home.
Yep.
If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna be at my home. And the girls said, nope, we're not letting you. And here I am.
You'll
Yeah, you're
always
stronger than you give yourself credit for.
Yep, and you'll always get better care from those that love you than those that don't know you, whose job it is to render care.
Yep.
Yes.
That's a given.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that makes medical people shake their heads on the miracle of the cure. They can't figure out how it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. That the doctor in the ER, she was I didn't like her. And she's all, I don't know why you're acting like this. I'm fun. We can go out and party sometime. And I'm looking at her like, can you just be a doctor? Because when it came time to give me antibiotics, she said, well, you're allergic to everything. I can just give you anything. And so she gave me a Z-Pack. Well, I was like, do you know what this is going to do to me? Okay, I'm in a hospital. Fine, I'll show you. Took 2 of them, sat there for 5 minutes, threw them up. Thank goodness that they didn't dissolve or anything yet. And she said, well, that's okay. Just take the other 4 home and take them. And
Wow. Stupid is the doctor. Good Lord.
Yeah. So luckily I had another antibiotic here already that I knew I could take. So I took those. But when I went to my regular doctor, I think it was 2 weeks later for a follow-up, she said there was no way I had pneumonia because I healed too quickly. And my mother was with me, and my mother's like, I don't like your doctor. And I said, well, we don't have a big supply here.
Well, you know, there's one of the things that I find, I spend a lot of time in the medical field. You know, it's difficult for those that have that as their job, that see untold numbers of patients. It's difficult for them to maintain the humanness rather than the condition. You know, and that's once they stop the family physician practice with the small town doctors and stuff like that, you know, that saw people from the time they were born all the way through adulthood and had their own children and everything else. There was the people connection. There was the person connection.
Yes.
And the new medical profession does not have that. Everything has a medical billing code. Everything has a condition. Every condition has a certain set of symptoms. Every symptom has a certain prescription for it. And they don't look at the person holistically.
Yes.
That's why it's important, to understand that that is one piece of the health puzzle and only a piece of it. There are other pieces out there that are made to be part of that pie, and you will very seldom find a health practice that includes all of it.
Yeah.
Okay. But there has been a change over the years that I've seen in one of the fields, and that's oncology. As oncology has progressed away from the chemotherapies and radiations and other treatments that they have, okay, they've started addressing the other holistic needs that fit into that lifestyle, that emotional support, that spiritual support, though they're just as important,
That's
so they're
not
not,
here yet.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
not here yet. You're still doing the
there are
chemo
some
and
good ones
radiation.
out there. Yeah, you have to look around, but there are some good ones out there.
Not in
You know.
Canada yet.
Yeah.
At least
But
not in my area.
it's well, you've got the socialized medicine pretty much up there,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm afraid of down here. Not so much the socialized medicine. We're at the other end of the gauntlet. The medicine down here is dictated by the administrators, who are basically run by what the insurance companies will pay for. That's
Yes.
big pharma, big money talking.
Yep.
Okay, that takes people out of the equation again too,
Yeah.
because you become just a way for them to generate income.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the complete. That's two ends, and neither end is good when they're that far out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend that she had brain cancer and breast cancer same time.
Oh no.
And she started going to a holistic doctor, and they started shrinking. And but she got to where she couldn't afford it because insurance won't cover. And that makes me mad that they won't cover that if it works.
Yeah.
I don't
All
know.
about the money.
That's why they won't cover it. It's because it works.
Yeah.
If it works, they don't get to charge you the money for the treatments, the follow-up appointments, the therapies, the drugs, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Okay, and you stop and think about some of the treatments that they give, especially for cancer. With the chemotherapies and things of that nature that were originally derived from natural sources. Like tamoxifen, for example. That's one of the natural things that they found in the Pacific yew tree. Taxol was developed from that, and they took it and they synthesized it. But when they synthesized it, they left out all the other things that were also in there, that worked in combination and stuff naturally. And then once they synthesized it and they could produce it and stuff, now they started looking for conditions that they can give it for. But the problem is, when those things are changed like that, it has an impact on the body.
Yep.
They're non-selective. They attack fast-growing cells. Well, that also includes your blood cells and other things. So it develops all these other conditions, inflammation and things that also need to have medications. So if you go in for a chemotherapy bout, you're probably going to get medications for the nausea it causes. You're going to get medication for the inflammation that it causes. They'll put you on steroids. You may have to have medications for some other symptom that comes up. Okay, this is a self-feeding monster.
Yeah, because your body's rejecting it.
Yep. Develop a drug and then find a condition you can use it for. If you don't have a condition, invent the condition and then develop a drug for it.
Yeah.
Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sell people something that they don't need, that they just gotta have, and you'll make $1 million. I want you to think of the fads that we saw come and go.
They stopped being concerned with healing. the
Yep.
issue and started just treating the symptoms, the issue would be continuous. And that's how
Yep.
they figured out how to make money. And they turned
Yep.
the entire healthcare system into that.
Well,
Yeah.
there's some innocuous ways that people make money too, which is what I was getting at. But the result is the same. People are willing to spend money for something that they think has some worth to them, even though it's worth less. How many people remember the fad of the pet rocks
You want?
Yep.
or the
Yeah, I
chia
wanted
pet?
one of those when I was a kid.
Yeah,
My parents told me to go find
yeah, or the
one in
chia
the
pet.
bush.
You know, if you create the desire in people, they'll buy it. Okay, a certain logo. You know, everybody's got to wear this logo, otherwise you're not in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And who's the dummies? We are. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Gotta have it.
I mean,
One of my other friends, she's on about 20 different prescriptions and started with rheumatoid arthritis, and they just kept building from there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many specialists she has now. And
and does she feel any better?
I don't know. She keeps on working.
Well, you know, when you get these complicated conditions that people get medically, what you'll find is that you're never going to see one doctor. This doctor specializes in this aspect of it, and then they'll send you to somebody else. You know, you'll be
Yes.
seeing a urologist, a nephrologist, a neurologist, you know, a cardiologist, a pulmonologist, you know, and all of these different doctors are they're all prescribing different things, you know, sometimes at the same time, you know, and it's just not a good way to go about business, I don't think.
No.
You get too many cooks in the kitchen, and you're going to have a disaster at some point.
And that's what they're doing with my mother at the military. She has to see a different doctor for every little part of her body. And so they have 4 or 5 appointments a week. And I'm like, can't you just see one doctor, them tell you what you need, give you your medicine, go home, and that's it? No.
You would think that there would be something smart like a patient coordinator physician.
Yes.
You know, one physician that oversees the team approach. You
Yeah.
know, and they talk back and forth. But they're so doggone
You
busy
mean
now
like a
that they don't
general
have
family
time.
physician?
What's that?
You mean like a general family physician?
Well, that would be nice, provided that the family physician is within the same physicians group and can get access to the records and stuff in a timely manner.
Yeah.
You know, you
I
got
know.
this physician
I know.
group over here that their software isn't compatible with this physician's group over here, so they're not getting
Right.
the medication.
That's done on purpose.
Yeah,
They're not
well,
paid
yeah.
by the same insurance company, is what it means.
Nope, you got it. What's ours is ours, and what's yours is ours if we can steal it.
Yeah.
Get away with it.
Yeah, the life we live in.
Yep.
Well, hopefully that'll change.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm changing the subject again.
Okay, go ahead, my dear.
Pappy, you were in World War II?
I was in where?
Were you in World War II?
World War II?
You were too young for that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was too young for that. I don't even think I was a thought in anybody's mind at that time. No, I was born in 1950. I was a
Oh,
Korean War baby.
okay. Because I read something today about a mutiny after World War II of the whole military. Is that what they
Mutiny
call
on the bow.
it? Mutiny?
What did they? What did you say they called it?
I think it was called a mutiny, where they all said no and so they couldn't court martial everybody, or what is it whenever you could be sentenced to death? Tyranny? Mutiny?
Treason.
I'm getting some kind of a feedback here. I can't. I'm having difficult to understand what you just said.
I think I put a link in the description of this thing, actually, to that article. Y'all can read it later.
Oh, okay. In the description of the today's video.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go over to the YouTube channel and see. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to open it up because I'll open it up in a different tab because I'm on my PC. So that's what I like about not being on a phone when I'm on these things.
yes. That's what I have to do sometimes to look at the
Okay.
chat.
Yeah. The mutiny. Okay. I think what they're going on to look at here is on the mutinies. I'll have to read this story to be, to see where the author is coming from. But on the mutinies, it is an indication that there is a mindset change within the mind of the mutineer. In other words, they've lost confidence in either the goal or the leadership or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's something there. Now, that would lead me right back to the comment that I made about taking the oath. If you stop and take a look at the oath of enlistment for people that go in the military, that part of that oath is that they will defend the Constitution and the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yes.
And within that oath is that they will follow all lawful orders. Okay. And
Yep.
part of the military code is that they are not obligated to follow unlawful or unmoral orders.
Right.
Okay. But a lot of them did anyways. And that's why you heard the excuses at the Nuremberg trial, while we were just following orders. Because people will do things in situations like that they're not legal and they're not morally morally acceptable, but they still do them, saying, well, we're just following orders. And that mindset after watching the horrors probably that took place in World War II, and there were just tremendous amounts of horror. You're talking about mass casualty situations, and unfortunately, that's one of the side effects of conflict. If you enter into a conflict and you're fighting to have a clear victor, there's going to be those kind of losses. It seems to be inevitable.
Yeah.
But after a while, that becomes cumulative in the mind of the people that are participating in that. And once you get to the point where the battle has been won, and in retrospect, you start looking at, how it was conducted and how it was projected.
Mm-hmm.
In the minds of the people, they start saying, well, do we really have to do that? Are there moral and legal limitations to that? Okay. And once the conflict has stopped, even though the adrenaline and all the other things that they've learned and been conditioned to doing and exercising and conducting and stuff are still there fresh in their memory, does not mean that they still have to be applied in a peacetime military. So the numbers dropped drastically in the militaries after World War II because they didn't need them anymore. But then again, the difference is that most of those that went in then, well, up until the 60s, were draftees. There was an obligation to serve in the military,
True.
you know. But after the conduct of that war was done, and they cut the end strength down so drastically, a lot of the mentalities that were used to prosecute the war were still in the higher echelons. But
Yeah.
it was the old stuff. Its place was no more. You know what I'm saying? So
I just,
people rebelled. It got to a point in the military. I can remember some of this too. When I first went in 1968, and a couple of years later, and soldiers were asking, "Why do I have to do that?" Well, you never heard that before. You get an order, unquestioned, you do it. But then they
yeah.
started asking why. What is what is your thinking process of why I have to do this way? Why can't we do it this way? And then there started to be this interchange where they actually started listening to each other and adaptability,
Mhm.
And I think you'll find that in most things, when you go through a period of one party's policies, for example, in politics, and then someone different is elected in, there's going to be a change in policies. There always is.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's they question about, well, why was this done or why was that done? And when you look at it as the politicians being the ones in leadership and we, the people, being the soldiers, we start looking at the leadership and saying, okay, over and over again, you keep doing this. This one does this now. This one undoes that and does this. In the meantime, we're the people in between.
Yeah.
Let's do it this way. So we're at that point now where the people are mutinying.
Yes.
Okay.
It just seemed interesting that they posted that today.
Yeah. Well, and that's happening probably within the military. We see it happening within law enforcement, emergency services, healthcare professionals and stuff. That mutiny is going on right now too,
Yes.
because they see something is not right.
Yep.
So the ones that are always told they're the ones that have the power, but were never allowed to exercise the power, are starting to take it back and saying, wait a minute. You can't do your job without us. Or you have your job because of us. You're doing your job because we wanted you to do that job. Okay. So that's returning the power back to the people.
Yep.
So mutiny is a way of, if you look at it from the point of view that I'm looking at it, mutiny is a way of reassessing what is and putting it in the context of what it can be, and then doing something about trying to make it to be so.
Yep.
So I think that's where we are energetically. I think that's where I think certainly where we're getting to be emotionally with all these stories and horrendous stories that are coming up now about what's been going on in this world.
Yes.
And people are saying, oh, hell no. They finally woke up to that point where they're saying, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
And the mama bears are getting busy. The old warriors are getting busy. The young warriors that woke up with all their energy and vigor, they're getting busy.
And simultaneously,
watch out.
Across the world, everybody's nose itched at once.
Yep. Here it comes again. Ah, that feeling. Here it comes again.
Yeah. Hey, Pappy, just for those that don't, well, I'm pretty sure everybody here understands the difference. Maybe we should save this for tomorrow. This would be a good chat. But the difference.
I can't talk too loud when I talk to you guys in the daytime.
A warrior.
Okay, so what it is again?
The difference between a soldier and a warrior?
The difference between a soldier and a warrior. I think that difference is in the perception of the person and
Yeah.
how they see themselves. You know, a soldier in an army, okay, is a member of a unit that has a collective purpose, okay, that has a way of doing things that is well disciplined, that you know that is familiar with the tactics and those sort of things. A warrior is a one-on-one self against potential. That's the warrior. Okay, a warrior is, even though you can be, you know, a member of a unit as a soldier, a member of a group, and know the tactics and stuff. When it comes right down to the individual act of what a soldier does, that's when the warrior part steps out. Now your own self-preservation skills kick in, your own observation skills kick in, your own situational awareness skills kick in, your own confidence in your own abilities kick in. You know, that's the difference. One is collective, the other is very individual.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Awesome.
That's pretty much my take too. Very well said. I would have said it a lot differently, but it's the same thing. So I can't even
See,
add
like
to
when somebody says, you know, be a soldier of God, that means join up with others in the army for God, and that's commendable. When it comes into the battle, then you become a warrior for God, individual. You become like the berserker that stands on the bridge and fights off the hordes, you know, with supernatural powers, if you will.
Yes, because that's I think the warrior kicks in when that in the moment decision has to be made.
Yeah.
That's the warrior mind that makes those decisions instead of the groupthink mind most of the time, I think.
Well, you saw the dynamics of that, just as Bonnie pointed out about the conversations that she observed in another chat earlier tonight. You see the dynamics of that and how it works. You had a bunch of soldiers talking, okay, and you also had a bunch of warriors, young warriors talking that had similar circumstances and stuff. And then my observation was more of the you know, the warrior monk that was looking at it all and could kind of see it, see the dynamic happening, you know. Each of those people up there talking, I'm sure, are warriors in their own right.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Even if you're a warrior to yourself, a lot of times it takes the group to accomplish.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And very seldom that one warrior is going to take down the whole opposing army of soldiers, because sometimes just the sheer force of numbers alone can overwhelm you. You know, that's where it takes, you know, a group of warriors. I mean, if you think into history and some of the glorified movies and stuff, you know, how does that work? Well, how about the movie The 300? You know, the story of the 300 Spartan warriors, if you will, that fought off the Persian invading army. They ultimately lost because of sheer numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, but they passed along the warrior spirit, you know, to the people that allowed them to resist enough, you know.
How are you, Robert?
Great.
Hey, Robert.
The woman just went to read again.
I'm so glad to hear she's feeling better.
Yeah.
She was on the phone all morning.
Yes, tell her we said hello.
I did. That's everybody was thinking about you. pulled a card for you guys. I've been listening all this time.
Awesome.
Yay.
I pulled the Lynx card.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Hold on. I think there's a truck having trouble here.
I didn't hear it. I just took
It's a little different. So.
Oh, go along. Get along, little doggy. I picked the Lynx. Lynx, you know the secrets so very well. The dream time and the magic, but you'll never tell. May I learn to hold my tongue? Observe like the Sphinx, powerful yet silent, the medicine of Lynx. It is said that if you want to find out a secret, ask Lynx medicine. Unfortunately, it is difficult to get the silent Lynx to speak. To be confronted by the powerful medicine of Lynx signifies that you do not know something about yourself or others. Lynx is the keeper of secrets of the lost magical systems and occult knowledge. Lynx has the ability to move through time and space and go into the great silence for unraveling any mystery. Lynx is not the guardian of secrets, but the knower of secrets. The problem lies in getting Lynx to instruct you. He or she would rather be chasing a bird or kicking sand in your face than running circles around you. Lynx medicine is a very specific type of clairvoyance.
Clairvoyance.
Clairvoyance. If this medicine is strong in you, you will get mental pictures concerning other people and the exact things they have hidden, either from themselves or from others. You will see their fears, their lies, and their self-deceptions. You will also know where they have hidden the treasure, if there is any. You never speak of these revelations, you simply know. The only way you can coax information about yourself out of a Lynx medicine person, in case you have forgotten where you hid the treasure, is to respect the practices of his or her tradition. If you go to a gypsy with Lynx medicine, you must show your respect by paying with money after the reading. If you go to a Choctaw medicine person, he or she will reach into your midsection or use other traditional methods to help you. A blanket or tobacco should be given in exchange for the medicine he or she has performed for you. This maxim is known as the law of the Lynx people and is practiced by Native American Gypsy, Sufi, and the Egyptian cultures, among others. If you have pulled the Lynx card, you can be sure that secrets are afloat. If this is your personal medicine, you should listen to your higher self. Be still and pay attention to the revelations you receive, either in form of mental pictures or through a high singing voice in your inner ear. Perhaps you will receive information in the form of omens. You can see that Mother Earth is signaling to you in some manner. If Lynx is at your door, listen. Brother or sister Lynx can teach you of your personal power and of things you have forgotten about yourself. Lynx can lead you to lost treasures and connects you to forgotten brotherhoods or sisterhoods. Some medicine people believe that the Sphinx of ancient Egypt was not a lion, but a lynx. This lynx does not say much. With an enigmatic smile, the great cat watches over the sands of forever. Awesome. That is just cool.
That's a good one.
All right, that was beautiful.
Kind of
Hello,
like
Lisa.
Who were you thinking of when you pulled that card?
you.
Who were you thinking of when you pulled that card?
You. The whole. What does it say right here? Lynx is the keeper of secrets of lost magical systems and occult knowledge. Lynx is the time and space to go into. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The problem lies in getting Lynx to instruct you. he or she would rather be off chasing a bird or kicking sand in your face than running circles around you.
And that reminds you of who?
You. Thank you for all your teachings and thank you for your service. Happy
You know what?
Veterans Day.
I'm going to say this, okay, simply because you've reached that point where I have to validate you to others. You're getting to be a smart ass in your old age. Now, having said that, I'm going to let you in on a little something. Our clan totem for our family clan, the Skinner Creek Matee clan, okay, is a black cat.
Wow.
Not a house cat, but a big black cat. Even though I have personal totems and stuff that you've all heard me talk about, the bird totems and obviously the bear totem and the healing and stuff. You picked up on the other totem that I haven't told you about. Okay, on my right thigh and on my right bicep, I have a tattoo. And the right thigh has the cat face on it. And the right bicep has the cat face on it looking through roses.
Wow. That's crazy.
So I very much have that is pretty much my spirit makeup, if you will.
Wow.
It may be subject to change now that you've noticed it. Next time it might be a monkey swinging from the trees, swinging coconuts at you or something.
He read you.
That is so cool.
That was so cool.
Yes, that was cool. I just want to thank.
I like to think if I'm going to be a cat, I might as well have the Cheshire Cat smile in Alice in Wonderland.
Or the smile of a panther.
That's funny.
Well, did anyone remember the link that I shared the other night with the 432 hertz music that I listened to?
Yeah.
Did you remember seeing the picture on that link? I'll share it again. I'll share it again if you want it. But it's got a picture of a picture of a Black Panther.
That's what Lynx looks. Yeah, Lynx. Yeah, looks just like that.
Lynx, no. Lynx looks more like the bobcat with a tuft of hair up on his ears. That helps hear better.
Yeah. In our book, it's kind of dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. I don't know. I just set the intent to veteran. I looked. Oh, that's what I did. I looked at the topic to double check to check the topic of the day, and then it said Veterans Day, and you're our veteran, and boom, it came.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Well, you hit right on with Bonnie with the elk.
Yep.
You have a way. You're a card shark.
Did you see my comment today in Heather and Jeff's?
Which one? You made a couple of them.
I'm kind of starting to see, and then shit, I swear, 5 minutes down the road, you said it's a process, and I was like, I'm in there. I can feel it.
Yep.
I can actually feel it. I don't know, you know what I mean? But I'm in the process of not understanding, but seeing and feeling what you're talking about.
Well, all of you are in the process of learning, okay? And you understand that you're in the process of learning. What's gratifying to me is to see the excitement of wanting to learn what you have yet to learn.
Right.
That's the exciting part, because when I see that, I see a bunch of little kids running out in discovery.
Yep.
Yep, that's what I feel like.
And you remember, and what was that one? Porcupine.
A little bull in the china shop. That's me.
No, he's talking about porcupine. He's talking about porcupine. You got to be playful, be kid-like, childlike.
Yeah.
Don't forget your child inside you.
No.
So while you're all are out there just running around playing and everything, I'm going to be like the cat sitting in the window watching the birdies fly.
Yep.
That's right, Robert. Me and you are 15.
Yeah.
We were what, 8?
I was gonna tell you guys something funny. As a kid, this part's not the funny part, but it's an important part. When I was a little girl, my dad got me a little toy, and he left me sitting in the truck with my toy, and it was one of those little things you blow in, and the little ball pops up out of it, and then the ball comes back down into it, and you practice making it go back down in there real slow instead of it falling out, right? Well, I was enjoying that toy, and he brought a little boy I'd never seen before into the truck from somebody's house to visit, and I wouldn't share my toy with him, and I wouldn't share it because he had a runny nose, and I was afraid he was going to get boogies on it. Okay. Well, my dad says, if you got to play with your toy and you won't share, guess who gets your toy? Because you didn't think enough to put it away if you weren't going to share it. So my dad gave him my toy, and that broke my heart.
Aww.
Well, when I got a little bit older, I had already learned to share. I made popcorn, and my brother wouldn't share my popcorn. He took it and ran away and with my popcorn, and it was a nice big bowl that I planned on sharing with him. So I spit in the middle of that popcorn, and my brother learned to share. At least with me. At least with me.
The lesson of the runny nose.
But I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. I shared that with somebody today, and they said, I would have never thought of that. I heard somebody talk about peeing in someone's Cheerios or Wheaties or something like that. And I'm like, I never thought of that, but this is what I thought of.
Yeah, the old saying, yeah, you act like somebody pissed in your cereal this morning or something.
Yep.
No.
Okay. And a runny nose. Okay.
Is your nose running? You better go catch it.
Yep.
We were all told.
Oh my goodness, those prank calls.
I called a place when I was a teenager, came up with one, and I kind of felt bad after I did it. I was always one with quite the conscience, you know. It was calling somebody and saying that I was the sewer company and we had enough poop out of you, and with other words. But
See, I never was a prank caller because I really didn't like to be on the phone. So, and to this day, I cannot hold a phone up to my face. I cannot hold a phone up to my ear. If you call me, know that you're going to be on speakerphone.
Yeah, me too, man. I've been putting the phone by my ear
You
so long.
didn't do too much calling either, because of the fact that in our town, if you dialed *82, it dialed the person back that you just called you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
9 times
we
out of
had
10, it was
party
your
lines.
mom that answered the phone.
We had party lines too, Anna.
So did
Yeah.
we.
Well, I got in trouble for that call. I never did it again. Somebody was a snoopy neighbor, because when you had party lines,
Yep.
when someone else was calling out, your phone would go when they were dialing, so you knew that someone else was on the phone. So
You know what that
would be
was?
curious.
You know what that
No such
was?
thing as
That was
privacy.
what? No, but listen, just listen. With the advent of technology, communities got further and further apart, and those people just had the memories of being a really tight-knit community. So they were just trying to know what was going on to stay remaining tight community. I'm gonna roll with that because it sounds better than a bunch of
Getting
nosy
nosy
old
people.
biddies.
Sure.
Well, I always think about Little House on the Prairie and Mrs. Olsen when they got those
Oh
got
my
the
god.
phones in there listening in.
Yes. Oh, she was something else, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Oh,
her
and
and Nellie.
Yep. Never trusted the postmaster or the.
That reminds me of a funny story, playing with the phones. I guess people go through those different stages in their life. They get rambunctious and do silly stuff. And so I called up one of my friends one time, disguised my voice. I said, "Hello, is John there?" "Oh, no, sorry, there's no John here." "Okay, sorry." Then hang up the phone, right? Wait about 5 or 6 minutes, call up. "Hello, is John there?" "There's no John here." "Oh, sorry." Wait about 5 or 6 minutes, call up. "Hello, is John there?" "I told you before, there's no John here." "Oh, sorry." Then wait about 15 minutes and call up again. Say, "Hello, this is John. Has there been any calls for me?"
Oh, that's funny. I was gonna tell you guys, all the things that we've been learning, and we learn how they sweep things under the rugs for certain people that have money or prestige or whatever. My roommate and I were talking today and yesterday about one of our senators in our lovely state of Wisconsin. His name is Johnson. So I went and started looking up history on him, and sure enough, when I worked at Film and Bag, where we made plastic bags and plastic sheeting and stuff like that, he was a boss of the business I was working at when Katrina hit. A lot of the stuff from a plastics factory that got flooded out down in Louisiana ended up at our plant just before the thing hit, and he kind of had cleared out like all this machinery, but there had been some suspicion raised on how come, things were disappearing from certain companies and things like that. And I had found in talking to a few people back when that this Johnson had been involved in a intoxicated car crash while he was intoxicated and got away with it, where someone else was killed in another vehicle.
Oh my goodness.
And it all kind of has disappeared and you can't find any information about it, but gee, it's kind of funny how just before this pandemic and everything else that he sold all of his plastics or his shares out of all of these plastic companies and everything. And when I worked at those plastic companies, almost all the plastic that came in there was in little beads and great big totes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they all had Chinese writing on them and said from China.
Yeah.
Do you think somebody had a little inside information about what was coming when he sold all of his companies that did plastic works in Wisconsin?
Wow.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that insider information that get utilized to the benefit of a few,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yep. So I just, they talk about that, all of this stuff that has gone up in price and shortages. They started out by saying it was because of shortage of plastics and containers, and that there's going to be more. And I just thought I'd put that out there as food for thought, where, with all of our investigating and starting to look into things on our own a little bit in doing our own research, and you can kind of connect some dots when you start to go back on dates. When did he sell out? You
Yeah.
know?
Well, you start following those dots, and you see a pattern that went back even before his time. At one time, we were producing the plastics and stuff in this country, and a lot of our chemical plants still do. Okay. And we produced all of our own, dinnerware and plastic containers and everything. We did that here domestically. Well, in the 1970s, a certain president signed an up-and-coming country into the favored trade nation status. And a lot of the manufacturing that was messy or contaminating or labor intensive was shipped over to this country. Okay. And then the products that they produced started to come back into the country. We would send them the raw materials, and they would send us the product. And the end product would be cheaper than we could produce here because of their labor and everything else. And that all worked well and good. And take the plastics as an example because you brought it up. Now we had all these plastics and everything that were produced here. Okay. Let's put it this way: the chemicals and stuff that were produced here, the chemicals sent over, they were manufactured in another country. The manufactured product came back, and then we found out that, good Lord, that stuff don't biodegrade, so it needs to be recycled. So we started opening all these recycling plants around the country that actually took that product, chopped it all up, brought it back down into its base components. Okay, so we can ship the base components back overseas again. Well, that become labor intensive. So now they started taking all your recycling stuff that was recycled, rather than putting it in recycling plants here, baling it all up, putting it on ships and sending it to this country. They tore it down and broke it down and that sort of stuff, remelted it or whatever, and repurposed it and sent it back. So now they sent over there the original manufacturing of it. They sent over there the recycling of it. They sent over there the raw products of it, and then relied on getting the finished product back, which is sitting in hundreds of ships off the coast and can't get in for some reason. Now, how stupid was that?
And it's costing the ships $100 a day per container.
Well, yeah, that's just another way the politicians are ripping off the people.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Because the shippers will have to pay that price. The container manufacturers have to pay that price. The ship owners have to pay that price. Okay, where do they get their money from?
Yeah.
Hello, the people that are paying the money in, you and me, for the product. They just raise the price on the product, put excise fees on the product, that sort of stuff. So they're charging $100 per container per day. Who's getting the money? The people that already don't know how to spend it.
Yep.
I've walked by managers in the
they wouldn't
store
need so
different
dang much of
times. Oops, go ahead. I've walked by managers in the new store and stuff down where we just got a new store owner at our major food supply store here in town. It's the only grocery store. And made sure to say, some of these prices are just a little too high for me. I guess I'll wait till it goes on sale or learn to do without it. They actually had coffee for $3.99 for after that.
That's cool.
Hello, Bella.
Not saying that was a reflection of what I said, but I was like, I'm pretty good at getting other people into conversation when there's big shots standing around.
Hi, Bella.
Hello, mi Bella.
Bella, Bella, Bella. I love our Bella.
Yeah, it's cool to see Corlin back at it again. Funny.
Yeah, we were tickled to hear that she was feeling better today.
Yes.
Yeah, I did a hoot and a holler and a yahoo.
Yeah, she said thank you to all you guys too.
Yeah, when I was watching Heather after the show was over, I was in there having conversations, and it was like insane.
That was cool.
I was like a kid at Christmas time. I couldn't sit still because I knew Sage was coming home. We called every day. We were calling right away.
We were
As soon
just
as
as
they
excited for
opened
you
up.
today too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll
She's
stand
our
on my
little
head.
Tina.
I'll stand on my head for you.
I saw that. Thank you. That's when my phone goofed up, so I didn't even get to look back and see if it came out in chat that I said, "You're so silly." Thank you, Robert.
You know, your reaction, Anna, is just a testament of what happens when people go through a healing process or a learning process, and they get a little bit of the piece that had been pulled away from them spiritually, energetically, or emotionally by something else, and it's returned. That reconnection, that joy, you know, of reestablishing that unity, you know, and just the, you know, just the energy that you have between you and Sage, you know, so that energy was returned, and how did it make you feel? It made her, you know, made her feel the same way, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
You know? And that's the stuff that I always found so overwhelming sometimes when I would help people going into what I called retrieval ceremonies, where they would go and they would get those pieces that had been lost or stolen or hidden or buried or whatever, and reconnect them. You know, the emotional process of that reconnection is just amazing to watch, because the transformation was just like the transformation of the glow on your face, Anna, when you come in there with that big smile before you showed Sage to us. It was seen.
Yeah.
It was seen in Heather's face today. Why?
Yes.
Because of the energy of that blouse that she was wearing that Bonnie had put into that blouse before she sent it to her.
Yeah. Another, how do you say that? Again, another lesson to observe the intent.
I was getting ready to say that's only what I see through cat's eyes.
Bella has a question for you, Robert.
What?
Bella has a question for you.
No, I didn't see that.
Huh?
This is the card I pulled for you. I didn't know you pulled cards.
Ooh. Oh yeah, Bella's
So,
she's quite
Bella, jump up here and show us your cards, you card shark.
Yeah, card shark.
You know, Pappy, it makes complete sense to me now, because when you know the other night when you sang on Bonnie's channel after we had left, well, Robert told me about it, so of course I went back and watched it so that I could hear you sing and play your drum. And like, oh, I could just see you walking around a teepee and like quiet moccasins. Like, so the big cat thing makes a lot of sense to me, because when I see you, there's a gentleness, but there's a
Fierceness.
there's a warrior there. That there's a steadfast stealthiness there. Not in a bad way, in a very good way.
Oh shit!
I can see Robert as being
Huh, I couldn't tell.
the kind of guy that's walking around observing to make sure that everything is just right.
Mm-hmm.
You would be correct on that.
Yeah. Yeah, Heather.
He's Very much a watcher. That's why he's my big brother.
I'm like, where you guys been? Are you all right?
And if I was at a place where Pappy was doing his thing, I'd be the one dancing in the corner all by myself, just bouncing around like a lunatic. That would be me.
I'd join
Okay,
you.
yeah, I can see it.
You wouldn't be alone.
Corinda's got her hair up in Billy Idol style and say, I'm dancing with myself. I'm dancing with myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here, hold my beer. I'm just
Hold my
messing
beer.
around.
I've been drinking the beer at the same time.
Bella, I'm on my phone. I can't look at the card.
No, she said she texted you.
Okay. I didn't hear it go off. How weird. Usually makes
Bella,
a noise.
you would very much enjoy ending your evening here at Bonnie's. I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Come on up,
that you
Bella.
would find it immensely enjoyable.
Yeah, come on up, Bella. Read your card, please.
You might have to drop the link, Bonnie.
I'm curious now.
Hey, Robert, Mr. MBB333 was sharing some UFOs seen in California today.
In California?
Yeah.
Hey, there's something weird happened here today. I don't know what I don't know what's going on.
It was a portal day.
They found a wrecked aluminum boat and some kayaks or something like that. Washed up. I don't know, man. There are helicopters all over today.
Oh, wow.
Well, there's got to be a cover story, you know.
Yeah, they stopped. It sounded like they went to the airport and got gas and then came back again.
Well, between the storms that are north of you, they're supposed to get up to 9 inches of rain just tonight. And the storms by me are actually there's already power outages, the ones that are coming to me that out of the North and South Dakota through Minnesota.
I thought I saw a big protest in California too.
Yeah, somebody said that.
Was it today or is it this weekend?
I think they said today. Wait, I think it was going on when we were in Liberty, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, Bella.
Hello, Bella.
Hello. Let me just finish this text and then I'll call you. I'll be right back, okay? So
You sound clear as a bell, Bella.
I know, and it's weird because my Wi-Fi keeps cutting out constantly. I'm having a horrible time up here. But we have a storm that's been rolling through, so it's been wild.
Join the crowd. Hey, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Are you in Oregon, Bella?
I'm in Washington.
Washington. Yep, that's where the storms are coming into.
Yeah. And it's been really bad, and it's the weirdest thing. Like this last Sunday, we didn't have a storm at all, but I lost power for 9 hours and Wi-Fi both went down. And so that happened. And then the next day is when the big storm came in with all the wind and all the hail and all the rain. I mean, we were flooding and it was wild, but it's been nonstop for the last couple of days. So
goodness.
Well, you know, they say our star brothers and sisters are coming back to visit us. And some people even believe that is in the time fast approaching.
I think they're here already. I think they have been. I feel like a lot of us are, if you know what I'm saying. So,
I think Creator is singing y'all a song out there. Okay, all of you that have been lifting up a prayer and everything, and it's being answered with a song. I'm going to wash your troubles way down the drain.
I just adore you, Pappy.
The cleansing rains are the best, you know.
Yes, they are. Mud. Yes, they are. I used to go out in the rain and just let it wash all that away too. Rain can be very powerful.
It frees me up.
Thing to do.
The rain frees me up. So I say that subconsciously because I can rest that there's going to be no fires for a while.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, right?
Yeah.
Living in the woods, we know that one too well, don't we, Robert?
Yep.
That's so funny you mentioned that. We just had the fire department show up here yesterday because, or actually day before, when we were coming back from bringing Sage to the veterinarian, I was like, look at all that black smoke. That looks like it's right where we live. Maybe just a little bit beyond our place. And sure enough, it was like a few doors down from us. Somebody decided they were burning leaves. I'm like, you're doing that when there's a burning ban in a trailer park. That takes a lot of brains.
Is that dry in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
very
see, that's
dry.
the
We
time
just
where I
got a
think
little
of
wind.
idiocracy.
I'm like,
Okay,
wow.
so you want me to read your card, Robert? And then you can read the book. This is from the Spirit of the Animals Oracle. Let me turn on my light. I have better lighting because I have really poor lighting here. It's the dragonfly, and it says, magic. I embrace my transformation. I courageously let go of the past. The magic of nature is in me. I am brilliant, and I am blessed. It's a really pretty card. I sent you the picture and everything. It's just one of my mini decks, but I had it out, and I had been pulling cards lately, so having that longing to go back to that space that I've been away from for over a year now. So
Get back there. Yeah.
yeah, no, I definitely am. The call is heavy when you ignore it and you know that you're not where you're not completely where you're meant to be. So
Happy,
Yep.
do you have that book?
With the one with the with dragonfly, I don't have that book. No, I have other books that talk about dragonfly.
Yeah, I just have that.
yeah, you can
Dreams
find
and
it in the book that
transformation,
Happy
right?
has. I have all those books too. I have so much stuff. Yeah, I mean, I have a library. Just wait, Robert. You come up and visit me, and you'll see I have like a library. I have some things I want to actually pass down to you too. It's just so hard for me to get anywhere right now. Things are just a little nutty on that end, but
Ready?
Yeah.
yeah,
All things in their own time.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. What do you guys?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Oh my.
I read Dragonfly. I did the first set this morning.
Oh, are you already working with that energy, Robert?
It's Abilene.
Let's go back to Corlin was with me tonight, and then I just had a feeling to pull a card, and it came out for Pappy.
Oh, Pappy got the dragonfly tonight?
No, Pappy got the Lynx card. Well, I just looked at the topic of the room, and then I just put intent in, and it came out Pappy this time because he's our veteran.
Yes.
And he's been showing us a path to walk, and I'm starting to understand it, or see it, not understand it, see it.
Yeah.
But it's a process. It's not a thing. It's
yeah.
Entire.
In my Infinity Oracle deck, the Dragonfly says, the Dragonfly lets you know I am watching and providing you with messages and gifts. The Light means Lady Luck is on your side, period of extreme good luck. Ease and ability to kick old habits at this time. Able to spot false friends or enemies. Your spirit guide or guardian angel is close by or sending you messages. I pulled a card too.
Oh, okay,
it says 1111. Says if you pay attention, you will see the signs that I send. Light, and it's upright. Spiritual awakening or heightened senses. Spirit signs are abundant, numbers, dimes, feathers, etc. Dreams are vivid and filled with messages. Keep a journal. A soulmate or twin flame will soon enter your life.
And it's 11:11 today.
Yeah, cool.
Right? See how it works?
Wow.
Do you see where this is headed for Robert? Okay. Once again, there is no synchronicity. There is no quinky dinks. Okay.
Right.
This is manifesting a medicine power that's being awakened in Robert right now, Bella,
Yeah.
and one that he should be paying attention to. Um, the other cards are validating it because the same message is coming through. Now, the other day, another message of that same token came through for Robert too when we were talking about the hummingbird, and hummingbird came and validated that for Robert while we were talking about it on the panel, and that's the type of energy that he needs to work with right now. Okay, the energy that you brought up, you're the third validation, and that's the way it seems to work.
Oh,
It works in threes. Okay,
amazing. Love
and
that.
so that's an energy that he needs to work with. Now that is energy of the air.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is a very the air and the fire. Those are male energies. Okay, but they're directly opposed as far as how the energy is manifested. The fire cannot work without the air. Okay, and the air changes nature by what the fire does to it. So the two have to work in harmony. One cannot overpower the other. Okay, but it takes the temperance of the water and the earth, which is woman's medicine, to keep that both in check. Because a fire that burns too hot will burn everything. A wind that blows too hard will blow everything away or knock everything flat. So that has to. He already has some of the other attributes of the water and the earth. He's well grounded, but I think they're coming up now and saying, okay, it's time for you to fly away. Get your little torch lit up. So I think probably the next progressive thing I'm going to give to Robert is to take the lesson of firefly.
Okay.
When your ass catches on fire, fly. That's what I'm going to tell my radiation oncologist next week when I go in and start my treatments. Is I'm going to say I'm looking forward to next summer being part Native American. I'm looking forward to next summer when the nice warm nights get here, being able to drop my drawers and run around and light my butt up like a firefly. So yeah, she brought you your validation tonight, Robert. Give you some homework to do.
Wow. Yeah.
Where you go with it is up to you. That's your choices.
Your
What you
journey.
learn about it is up to you. That's your choices. How you apply it in your life, that's up to you. That's your choices. I'm going to sit back as a cat watching the birdies fly. Just remember, once in a while, I feel like I'm the guy that's holding all the strings on these helium balloons when we get together too, to keep you from floating away. So
Yes.
remember to keep your tether untangled.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
Did you say that starts next week?
Yeah, I go down and see them next week. Yeah, I think it's Tuesday the 16th. I have my first appointment. They're going to find out the results of the second opinion on the pathology specimens from the biopsies.
Okay.
Hey, whatever it is, you take care of it.
Yeah.
I know, but
It's all clear.
all of us guys know what we got to do, right?
Yeah.
I'll claim that for you. It's all clear.
Yeah.
They don't know why you
Well-
had to get a second opinion. They're going to wonder why you had a first one.
Well, well, things happen. The cycle of life. I don't deny the cycle of life.
Yep.
Old cars wear out. You got to replace your tires because they get bald.
Have you
That sort
talked
of
to your
stuff.
medicine man?
You got to greasy old joints and stuff like that. You get a broken part, you replace it.
Yeah, well, have you
Creator has
talked to
given
your
me this
medicine
road. Things get broken or things need repair. Take care of it. I have to have
Yep.
faith in Creator has put the right hands and the right people in the right place to do what's needed. And
Have you talked to your
if things turn crazy, yeah, it changes people's lives and stuff. But if you know where you come from and you think you know where you're headed, it's okay. You know,
Pappy,
Well,
have
I'll
you
doesn't.
claim it
talked
for
to
you.
your medicine man?
What's that?
Have you talked to your medicine man?
Oh no, he's crossed over.
Oh well,
I
find a
talk
new
to my I
find
talk
a
to
new
my
medicine
medicine man
man.
every night. We all have our medicine man. You go to the looks within place,
Yep.
and you talk to it there. But it's the stuff that I have and that I'm dealing with is nowhere near what some other people are dealing with.
True.
I put things in perspective.
Can I
I
ask?
would probably get more upset if I walked out tomorrow morning and forgot to put my shoes on and stepped where my dog was last night.
Pappy, can you feel something's going on wrong with you or not?
Do I feel that there's something going on?
Yeah.
You mean right now?
Well, with your issue,
Oh yeah, yeah. You can feel the subtle changes,
you can
but
feel it.
I haven't let it. I haven't let it interfere with me, too awful much and stuff because it hasn't debilitated me.
Hmm.
Look. I put things in perspective, okay? And I say these things, and I probably shouldn't have said these things because now you're all kind of jumping on that bandwagon that's not needed at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, but I, I'll tell you why I put things in perspective. My brother, well, he's actually my cousin. When his mother died, my mother adopted him in the native way and took him as her son. So he became my older brother by a few months.
Yep.
He was crippled when he was young with polio to the point that he had to wear braces and the whole thing. And nothing has stopped that man all of his life. He's a year older than me, and the daily suffering and challenges that man has had and the disposition that he's kept even through all of that, I got no room to complain about a damn thing.
Right. That's amazing.
Nothing. Nothing. So
I wish I could get that mindset.
well, what you got to do. You got to read. You got to watch these little YouTube videos called the Dodo, and it's all these little videos about animals and stuff, and all these animals that are running around and stuff, not knowing that their two back legs don't work. They're running around crazy, their tongue all hanging out, and or dragging themselves around. They're living the life Creator give them, and thankful for that life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I always go back to that, I'm thankful for that life because the one thing that I found, people, is this: if something is taken away from you, it leaves room for something else to develop within you.
Yes.
If you allow the space to be utilized to plant the new seed. If you keep the ground as a place that you no longer want to go to because that thing was lost there and you want to keep that memory there, then you're going to have ground that you're throwing salt on all the time. Nothing can grow on it.
And that is so true, Pappy. That's so true. I walked away from my practice a year ago. I'm sorry. My phone is like nonstop. I'm
Well,
sorry.
you're an important person, Bella.
No, it's not just people. I mean, it's people I love, but just it always happens at night. It seems I get busier, but I just wanted to agree with you and also say that also for people that do get what I want to say was people that do get thrown off their center and that's okay too because there's a in that journey itself there's lessons to be learned and things to learn from. So, but I too lost myself a year ago after my son's death and walked away from everything that once kept me pretty much grounded and in a place of peace when that
Mhm.
happened. And so just that's all I wanted to say is that I do understand from both sides, we don't want to lose that footing, but at the same time it happens. So be be okay with that. Sometimes there's reasons we do. I'm seeing
Yeah.
them now more and more through getting out of that space and coming back myself. And I've learned, things in this way. Now I can help others also in
Yes.
those spaces. So
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, all of the people here that are on this channel, certainly, and the ones that join us in chat that don't participate up on the panel and stuff, and over on Heather and Jeff's channel, as a matter of what I've noticed, are all healers in their own right. And each person has gone through things in their lives that have created the same vacuum that they've allowed to be filled with something of different
really?
nature than was there before.
He let me get about
Yep.
5 feet from him.
And what is filling us collectively, it's the same thing that's filling us individually. And that is the joy and expression of that energy joining up with who we are.
yeah,
And knowing that it's not ours to keep. We're supposed to share it. We're supposed to pass it along. We're supposed to allow ourselves to be a faucet for that type of energy to flow through to others.
yeah,
Okay. And that is where we individually all add together collectively as one and one equals another new one. And we're part of that transition. You're part of that transition. Okay. That's creator's work. That's not our work. That's us awakening to the whisper in our ear, that little flutter in our heart that's telling us it's time to change. But
Yeah.
many times that can only happen after we go into a period of dormancy or a period of disillusion, a period of dissolvement. Okay, so that we can be remade, we can be reborn, basically, if you want to use that term
like
as
the
well.
phoenix.
Yep. So that's we're all transitioning together. We're all transitioning individually. Each of you are powerful in your own right. Oh my goodness. Just like a bunch of bright little fireflies running around. Well, maybe not fireflies. That's going to be mine.
Yeah, I don't want to have a burning, glowing butt.
Well, be the
It's big
phoenix.
enough that it already
to
gets
go
enough
phoenix
attention.
moments, transitions, and transformations in my life. So, but I'm blessed for them. So by no means am I saying that I'm not, because who I end up evolving from that Ash is amazing, and I love it. So I mean, I don't have any regrets. Not, I can't say I love them all, but yeah, for the most part, I see what comes through that. So yeah, very blessed.
You brought up an interesting point earlier, Bella. You tried to run away
Yep.
from your calling.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's
Doesn't
many
work.
stories. There's many stories about people that run away from their calling.
Yeah.
If that's your true calling, all you got to do is read the story of Jonah.
Yeah.
Is it going to take a whale to swallow you before you listen?
Well, that's what it did. That's kind of what happened. It did. But the thing is, I think that when you lose your child, you lose such a, even knowing I understand death, and in my own, maybe my own way of how I see it, but I don't see death as an end. But even with that understanding that I truly believe, it still I wasn't able to care or hold on to any of that anymore. I don't know. I can't explain it still, Pappy. I'm still working through. I'm not even working through, because actually I don't feel like I need to work through so much. I mean, I still have healing work to do for myself, obviously, because I'm just coming out of it. I'm now just saying, okay, enough's enough. I'm feeling my longing to go back into my practice. I'm feeling, I've been feeling it for months, but I've been reserved from wanting to take the step to do it, to get back into that place. But yeah,
Well,
so
you're coming from the looks within place.
Yep.
yeah,
Okay, and now you're like a bear coming out of hibernation, peeking your
Yeah.
nose from the cave.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a different world than the one you left.
Yeah.
You know, these changes. You now you weren't here on last night's or any the current couple of nights. Maybe you were in chat and I missed you.
Yeah. I don't
But
get
you
notifications, so I don't get here very often. But go ahead. Sorry.
well, you've gone through what I call the shaman's death.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone want to talk to her about what you know about the shaman's death, rather than me telling her?
No, you tell her. You got it. You got it down.
Well, the shaman's death is actually a a a technique or a ceremony, if you will, that was used by certain indigenous teachings that would allow the person to leave the physical world and go into the spiritual world in order to have things pointed out to them that needed to die in order for them to be reborn. Many times that was done through the use of plant helpers that would help
Mm-hmm.
them go into different states. The one that comes right to mind is ayahuasca.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the second one that comes into mind along that same vein is the peyote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the third one that comes into my mind reference to that is a synthetic that's called LSD. But the problem with the synthetic LSD is it has a tendency to have some negative energies attached to it. It's usually not a very good experience. Okay, but in all the cases of the shaman's death, okay, where they go in and they have these parts of who they were literally just disassembled and allowed to be devoured or eaten or died or whatever in order to be reborn as something else when they come back from that. Okay, that is the shaman's death, the letting go as part of the natural cycle of that which no longer serves the highest purpose of your spiritual self, that part of you which is immortal, that part of you which is on a journey of learning and discovery, headed back to the source. And we we go into life and we go through life. Many people are afraid of death. Okay, because we come into life with no remembrance of where we came from. That
Yeah.
memory has been taken from us. Through the last shaman's death, we come out with no memory of that any longer. So we go through life learning everything that reteaches us of where we're going, which is also the same place we came from. So as we get there, closer to that, you know, uh, that time of crossing over, if you will, there's more awareness of that. If you've kept yourself open enough to be able to receive all the teachings and lessons that the life has offered you as choices. Some people never do that. They stay right in the material. They're very dense, dense frequency. They don't want to go, they're the ones that go through life with their eyes wide shut,
Yeah.
you know, and there's nothing we can do for those people. I mean, everybody develops their own way, you
Yeah.
know,
And their own
and
choices.
I'm glad that you've peeked your nose out of the cave. Uh, know that you are different than what you were, and
Yeah.
you are not yet who you are to become.
Exact. Yeah. I know I'm coming out. And Pappy, my practice is shamanism. I've been studying for years and practicing. So I definitely hear what you're saying. And I would love to talk to you more even. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Pappy.
Bella, you are amazing. You're like a bright light everywhere I see you.
Oh, thank you.
That
Definitely.
was just that entire conversation was. I have already had this. I've already been part of this conversation in this round table. That was a major deja vu for me, which
Mhm.
means I'm
You're a
right where I'm
sister.
supposed to be.
I know. You know what Pappy rang a bell too. It just took a minute for me to hear it. Remember he said to balance the air and the water. I I don't. You guys can call this what you want. I've been wanting to get a flute so I can sing to the tall people here.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh my
I call
god.
that awesome.
I
Sit in my,
might have one. Well,
sit in-
I like the drum, but I bought one and I tried it and I'm not very good at it. You might I if I can find that, it's still in the box, I would happily give that to you.
I want to sing to the forest.
Yes. I
Cool.
love drumming
The
outside
creator.
with the fire. I miss all
Oh
of
my
that.
goodness.
Robert,
That is
can you send us
cool.
a picture of you dressed as Peter Pan?
The hunchback
Robin Hood.
one. There you
Hey,
Or
go.
Robin
I'm a
Robin
little
Hood?
Hood.
weird too. I like talking to my trees. Is that okay? Well,
That's
my
not
plants
weird.
too.
You guys
It's
know
a-
that's not weird.
Did you guys see what Victor wrote in the bottom in the chat? That
Yes,
is totally awesome.
Yep. Awesome.
Where was
Oh,
that's
my?
And
that
right.
that's what he
is.
says. I'm glad you're stubborn.
Hey.
Hey,
My
I heard
roommate
that.
has primary progressive multiple sclerosis, and she one day just decided, as she was in a wheelchair paralyzed, I have a disease. It does not have me. And she has gotten herself out of that wheelchair.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
And we do carry that ability to some extent, I believe, uh, to heal ourselves on many levels. I do believe that. I've done it for myself. But I am dealing with something now that got triggered after the death of my child, which is it's really funny because I've worked with my ancestral line and so it's all like kind of interconnected. But I'll just tell you guys, I have a rare blood disease that became active, and so now it's time for me to start working with that as well. But um, yeah, it's funny. It's just life is a journey that can be really, if we look at it in a better way than most people do. I mean, our journey is pretty amazing, in my opinion. I mean, it's not
Yes.
always easy to see it that way, but even through the struggles that we go through, if we really look at them and what they teach us and take that medicine versus the woe me, how come this happened, and why, and try to figure out the whys and stuff like that. But look at what you can pull from that and use to
Yep.
aid you, and
Yep.
teach you
Yes.
is
It
important.
it all makes us ask questions, doesn't it?
Yes.
And getting right back to the statement that you just made. Okay, the questions. You have a condition. Okay. Now there's two ways you can go. You can ask the questions, but your intent in the questions dictates which way
Yeah.
you send your energy. You can either say, "Oh, woe is me. Why did this happen to me? What did I ever do to deserve it?" Da 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 da. Or you can say, "How can I transcend this? How
Yep.
can I conquer this? How can I find another way of doing something that I can no longer do?" There's a difference in the energy.
Yep.
Okay, and
Absolutely.
energy is self-feeding.
Yep.
So even though these things elicit within our lives the questions, the type of questions that you're asking, you have to be brutally honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, what questions are I'm asking? Because that's the question that you're asking to receive energy to fulfill.
Yep. Definitely agree. I'm not a woe me kind of person, that's for sure. I'm always looking, but like I said, this year, I mean, I definitely wasn't woe me, but I definitely was like just shut down. I can't explain it other than that's the best words I can use. I just shut down. And
Well,
in a
welcome
space.
back, Carter.
Yep, I'm back. I'm back.
Awesome.
That's what I did.
No longer hiding under this little rock of mine and just watching the world go by and just trying to do my best to help where I can, but just yeah, I was becoming suffocated in my own actions, in my own space, which what like I said, things there were good things in it that I can take away from it, but I know now that I need to come back to me.
Yep. No movement leads to stagnation, doesn't it?
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
come back.
We're glad
Yeah.
that you showed up here synchronistically right after the big energy shift that occurred over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. You're a blessing.
Yeah, and thank you for having me, all of you. Thank you for welcoming me. I know I've been a little scarce here and there because, like, I just have been, but I definitely will be back again if I'm welcome. That's for sure because I love it. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
Always
you're
welcome
welcome.
to our campfire.
yeah,
Exactly.
I love.
And we have a
What next?
campfire in the afternoon. You're welcome to too.
Yeah, if
you're
I'm
my
just awake.
Just show up with
We
your
love
cow
you,
nose on
Paula.
and you'll be welcome.
You're right.
Please subscribe and hit the bell.
That's right. I don't get Bonnie's notifications, and then when Heather goes live, I'm always late. I'm always late. It just doesn't seem. But then I've been sleeping really. My sleep pattern has been very off, and I was helping Hawk a lot, so I was like burning myself out over the weekend trying to be there and do that. So yeah, I mean,
Yes,
I'll
we
still
still
help
do.
Hawk, but I need to be. Not as active because it does take a lot out.
Yeah.
Well, you need all of you, and this is a caution to all of you, okay, only because I've observed it. You need to be cautious, but yet still participate in the channels and stuff that I see a lot of your names on, okay? Because the reason is this: there are different energies out there. They're
Yep.
all working towards the same goal, okay? But they're different energies. You see a lot of fire energy right now. You
Yes.
see a lot of air energy right now, okay? And it's important that that earth and that water energy gets in there in balance. They're all very powerful in their own right. But right now, it's the flames of the fire are being fanned by the air of certain people's gums. They're not wrong, okay, but it's energy that's been unleashed, it's not controlled. Okay, so when you jump into these chats and stuff like that, if you've got some of the controlling energy, even though you may not participate in the chat itself, try to send some of the tempering energy in there.
Yep.
Okay, we're all
100%,
working towards that.
Pappy.
We're all working towards that same goal. Okay, but it's the hotheads that draw the rest of the people into the burning frying pan, so to speak. Okay, and even the people that are talking amongst themselves in chat sometimes are talking about the same way, are talking about the same thing, but perhaps in a different manner, and they're getting their own little squabbles back and forth. That's detracting from where the energy should be going. Okay, and it's easy to get sucked into that energy. So those of you that have the capability of kicking some dirt, maybe you need to kick some dirt on the fire once in a while. Okay, or some of those that have the water energy, maybe you need to throw a wet blanket on it once in a while.
Yeah, I carry a lot
Okay.
of water. That's
I'm
my
just going to let y'all know I'm mutable fire, so I'm almost always smoldering.
you know,
Bear with
firecracker.
me. I mean, well,
Well, there's a difference between a warming fire and a transmuting fire.
Mm.
One fire is the furnace that melts iron ore into steel. You know.
And it's transmuting, Heather. That's maybe something, if you don't know much about, is really learning how to master that and working that within these spaces.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm trying to be a good student right now. There's so many things to learn.
Always.
Well,
And
you know,
so I
the thing
soak it up like a sponge, and then I have to disseminate it and absorb it over time.
Well, that's the important thing, because each of us are supposed to be all four of those energies in balance.
Yes.
You know, male and female, feminine and masculine, light and dark. Okay, higher and lower, hot and cold. I mean, we're supposed to do those things in balance, okay? So if you're learning your energies one at a time and learning to express them, there's going to be a time of uncontrollable manifestation of that energy. And if you want to think about that, think about the first time you got up on a bicycle without training wheels on.
Right.
You're all over the place.
Mhm.
Okay. And then as you master that, then you can go on and do other things. Go to a motorcycle, then go to a car, and go to, breaking horses like Bonnie did. Going out there and roping a wild Mustang and riding away into the sunset. But we're supposed to be all of those things. So don't be surprised if you're learning new ways and you get the new energy in it, and you have to practice with it. You have to play with it. You have to learn it. You have to find out that even though the stove doesn't look like it's on, it's an electric stove, and you put your hand on it and you burn your hand, that it's still got power going through it. These are things that same thing that like we've done in learning in our lives. It's the same way as we learn these things. And we each talk to each other about them, and we can explain to you our experiences with them or what we've noticed in somebody else doing it. But ultimately, it comes down to your experience and your manifestation of it in your life and how you've applied it. Okay. And then once you've done that, once each of us have done that, we can come together collectively. And if each of the little parts of any big thing, if each little part is as perfect as it can be made, then the big thing has to be perfect as well. If each of us sees ourselves as a perfect example of Creator's love by putting that spark of creation within us, then we can realize that together, even though we don't believe it in our material existence, together we are the perfect manifestation of what Creator wanted to produce. No better, no worse, not ahead of, not behind of, not above, not below. Walking side by side, connected.
Like Siamese twins.
Yep.
Okay, I can't see it. You have to wipe. My hand won't reach.
I won't go that far.
Like a three-legged race. Only
You can have
many,
fun
many
with
more
anything.
legs.
I will take anything you say and turn it Heyoka on you in a minute. That's another one of my teachers. Surprised I haven't pulled that card yet. I can hear Bonnie's mind just going.
Yes, because but it's a whole different topic, but it's not. I don't even know how to explain it.
But it's all related in one way or another. So
Yeah.
go ahead, grow with your living room.
Like, okay, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at all of y'all, and well, I don't know Bella's state. It's the okay. I keep hearing this, and I know I keep saying it. I keep going back to it because it's just like it's stuck in my head for some reason. Is the women lifting up the men right now, and so
We're either lifting them up or slapping them upside the head, telling them to get the hell up. Sorry.
But you have one to do that to.
Or
I don't know
throwing
what to do that
frying
too.
pans like some people I know in here.
Yeah.
Now,
No, that's
you
swinging
say
them.
that, Bonnie, but what you don't realize is that you uphold more men than you know, and I mean that very sincerely. When Mike asked about you, where's Bonnie at on the outdoor show, because he knows that you've got something really good, that you've got either a really great question or a really great tidbit of information, and he loves it. You strengthen him by doing that because you are who you are, and like your son that came to visit you. You say like you don't have these men in your life. You do. You have Pappy, Robert, Shane. And I know these seem like far off people, but what you do with your loving energy and with your strength is bolster the rest of these people. We are all stronger together.
You
We are
bolster
all
me.
stronger together.
Right. It's like Pappy says.
I'm not a man, but you bolster me. So hey,
It's the women may help us balance the male energy medicine with the female medicine. It's a balance of both. You're just adding to it more, I believe.
Yeah.
The women's medicines are getting stronger.
Yeah.
Like the mama bears.
Yeah.
You do so much more than you even realize you do. How many men in your community know that you've started this community group and unbeknownst to you look up to you? Wow, what a brave woman. Look how strong she is, stands on her own.
Zero.
That you know of.
Well, yeah,
that
I
you know of.
Well, while we're all on the subject of making Bonnie blush, as you notice, her camera's off.
Okay.
As we're talking about her. Okay, I made a comment in one of our little chats, that we can get so vocal, we can get so animated, and so excited, and so enthralled about what we're doing that we don't hear the gentle voice that's asking the question. Okay, that's whispering the answer sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's part of Bonnie's medicine.
yes.
Because when she does speak, it speaks to the point, it speaks gently, it says in her own way, shut the hell up, I'm trying to tell you something. Where shut your goddamn mouth. Okay. Both people with the same message with a different delivery. Okay. And the teaching, having brought up those two names, the teaching is that sometimes the most profound awareness comes when we listen to the small voice. And sometimes the most profound actions after we've heard the small voice is the shout of the feminine wisdom saying, get off your dead ass like a warrior and get out there and do something. But here, before you go, here's a sandwich for the trick. Okay. You see the mix of medicines there?
Yeah.
Okay. You see the mix of medicines? That's where balance is important. Okay. And like the old song, they come out in the late 60s. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. What are we going to do with it?
Yeah.
Sit back and let the women.
Even Victor has a really good comment.
Yeah, Victor's cool, man.
He's like, that's why I love coming to this channel. It's so warm and welcoming. So like-minded, we can agree to disagree, and that's fine. And that, fine. I'm not sure what that means. God has perfect timing. Yes. Perfect timing.
That's why Bella's with us tonight too.
That is correct. It's nice to meet you, Bella.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
I'm the crazy one from Canada.
I know you.
These are
How is Gigi, everybody? How is she? I'm sorry, Bonnie, did I cut you off?
No, that's okay. She's doing good. She came last night and the night before.
Yeah.
She's been coming over here a couple of times.
But she's not doing lives anymore, correct? Or am I just missing them?
She
No,
is taking a break
she's
for
taking a break right now. That's why
Yeah.
Bonnie's on.
Oh, okay.
And we love Bonnie.
Yeah, definitely.
She's taking a break right now, trying to get her head straight.
Yeah.
She went to see her shrink friend, not shrink. That's not the right word. Her psychic friend. Sorry.
Yeah.
And her psychic friend told her that everything she has thought for the last 2 years has been bullshit.
Oh, wow.
And all her research was bullshit and the internet lies and da 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 da. So she's kind of going with that frame of mind right now.
Oh, no.
We'll put it that way.
That's not all of it. That's not all of it.
She just needs a lot of prayer and lifting it.
We're all praying for her. We're all hoping she's okay. She's trying to set up a new room in the house to do shows, so that's a good thing. So
Yes.
she's planning on doing that. So she'll be back, I hope.
Yes.
Oh, I hope so too. And I will definitely be holding her up. She'll find, I mean, I'm sure she will. She'll come to that place of her own understanding of what resonates and what doesn't. Hopefully she's not putting all stock into the person.
I think right now she is. So everything she researched for the last 2 years in her mind is now bullshit. Everything.
That's unfortunate.
So, and I said to her, I said, you're the one that did the research. You went down the rabbit hole that you went down. I said, yeah, you found out about your music. You know what? I didn't care about that. I didn't go down those rabbit holes. I'm going to listen to what I'm going to listen to. You want to listen to your music? Listen to your music. You want to watch your shows? Watch your shows. It doesn't matter.
I feel like she's at a point now that, okay, maybe all that's cleared out and she can rebuild in a different place and get more in tune with this group. Let's hope.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, even in the movie, The Matrix, when one of the players in there discovered that what he thought was real wasn't real, once he came out into the real world as it was, couldn't take it and went back into the Matrix.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, by choice.
And that's what's happening
and
now.
there's going to be,
Right.
yeah, there's going to be people that do that. But, you know, at some point in time, everybody has to ride the storm, and everybody rides the storm differently.
Yep.
You know,
They just
Oh,
do.
Bunga, who's grabbing a surfboard and running outside with me?
Not me.
Yeah, it's her own soul's journey, and where it takes her and leads her next is, her choice.
Completely hers. Yep.
Right.
So we can just hold that space for her.
So anything she researched and whatever now is all bullshit.
That's
All
unfortunate.
the stuff is bullshit. Everything is bullshit. Da, 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 da.
She just needs some time to get her head straightened out.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
She's a great person. She's fun, funny.
Yeah, and she will. But
Okay,
the truth of all that is that. Sorry, Pappy, go ahead.
I think the important. I want to finish my thought before I forget it because I'm an old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the important thing to get here is not whether or not the information she gathered was correct or the information she was told is correct. Okay, it's whether or not she can validate her own understanding of what's going on and accept. You know, because there's a lot of people out there that are going to tell you this, that, and the other thing. Okay, and you've got to be able to find out that which you stick with. Okay, that which you know, but also you need to be prepared to come to those moments where that which you know and that which you are comfortable with and that which you are resonating with could in fact be a false teaching. or could in fact have been a deception that was played on you unknowingly. We can look at our history books and see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's what's happening.
And everybody, when you do that, just, you see that expression where, for example, people, they look at the camera and they go, when that happens, that mind blown thing, that's a small shaman's death taking place.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a realization that something has just died. Something needs to be put back into its place where it was growing before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, we all go through that. And we're getting the opportunity to see somebody else go through that. So all we can be is just supportive. We know
That's
it's a
right.
process.
Yeah.
We know it's a process.
And we're seeing that happen a lot right now, because from my perspective is that a lot of what we're being shown and told and the rabbit holes we go down, a lot of it, I mean, there's truth and there's lies to both sides. I mean, there's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm finding for myself personally, after being down many rabbit holes, is that is what can I do in this now moment to do any, what can I do in the now moment or in any moment, right, to help. And then on the other side of it is like just living in my moments versus getting so caught up in all the stuff, because there's only so much stuff you can hear and read and try to put pieces of a puzzle together that don't always fit, and you can't force them to fit. You might see some of the pieces fit right in and you can make sense of it, but then there'll be something else that will come up and you'll be like, well, okay, that just threw that piece out of that one equation. It's messy. And yeah, just
You're fitting right in with our group.
yeah.
Yes.
Because you're learning like we all are. All this
Yeah.
exciting stuff that's going on and all this information out there and everything, that's taken our time and taken our energy and taken our attention and all these things. And then we sit back and go, and then you look over and say, oh crap, I gotta clean a cat litter box.
Yeah.
Okay. Those things have to happen all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, you come to find out that it's been 3 or 4 days since you cleaned the cat litter box because you've been too involved in these other things.
Yep.
We find out a good lesson. Okay, we're not in balance here.
Yep, exactly. And you're seeing that a lot. That's where we're seeing a lot of that come in chats and people getting fired up, and like you were talking about the fire and the air. You're seeing so much. People are just unhinged.
Fed up.
Yes.
Well, you got people out there just fanning it too.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going right around there, and they got their big fans, and they're just going, getting it going to see what they can do. They want to roast your marshmallows
for that. Sorry, I'm just bitching now. I apologize.
No,
because they keep coming up on my damn screen.
Oh, I know.
And of course, because they're there, you kind of look at it, so you get more and more and more and more. And you're looking and you're reading and you're listening and you're listening, and it's like, ah!
Yeah.
Well, and that's what's good about being a mod over at Liberty Warrior, because I can sit there and watch it. And because I was at that point, I was like, I'm not taking this anymore. This is going to stop. I don't care what has to be done. Excuse me. To stop it. It's got to stop. They're destroying our country. And so I was at that point where I was like, it's time to saddle up, guns blazing, whatever we got to do.
Yep.
And now, because we have this wise young man up here with us that is telling us, hang on.
Yeah.
So it's
Because
been
that's not the way we'll win this. It's not by that way. That's what they want, and then
right.
it's gonna fall right into their hands.
Yeah,
There's
we can't do the civil crap or civil war crap. We can't do that.
no.
Can I ask one question?
But that's what I mean. It's a wonderful time to
It is.
sit and reflect inside and work on what we need to inside of ourselves to reach that
Ready?
But we
that
still,
balance.
but we
That,
still need to stand up
Yes, it
And-
is about we
Yes.
the people.
and
It
do
is.
it
Can I ask a question real
properly,
quick?
not crazily. I'm gonna put it that way.
yes, Heather.
Heather.
We're waiting.
Where'd you go?
Can you guys hear? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
We got you.
Now we hear
Let's
you.
all
Okay.
come on, pretend we don't hear her.
What if men stopped refusing to fight wars of other men?
True.
Well, it's not okay. This is from my perspective. It's not about the men stopping and not standing anymore, but it's about we all all the people making that stand and saying no more. We're not going to lay down and let them continue to run and do what they're choosing to do to us.
Right.
And
But we
that's
need to
where
look at this as a humanity project because it is so much bigger than just the United States or just
absolutely
one
it's
country.
about the collective, Heather. It's about the collective.
Yes.
About
Absolutely.
all of us.
So what if men and women the world over said no? I signed up for protecting my loved ones. I signed and you are all my brothers and sisters and we are all related and I will not fight my brothers and sisters. And I know that's a pipe dream, but it's my pipe dream. And yeah, it is my pipe dream. If we could lay down our arms and refuse to keep taking the life of our brothers and sisters across the whole world. And I think that a lot of people in our world today have that feeling in their hearts.
Yes, and that's
That
it.
they're all
That's been the
related.
goal all along. Is everyone wants to join hands with the whole world and have peace. That's
We have
how
to do
many
it.
years have they been hollering for that?
Yeah.
But what's happened is it's inside. It's inside of our countries that we are being attacked.
Yeah, I
That's where
think
the difference is. I'm not too worried about all these outer countries. Maybe
Within our country, yeah.
psycho little man over there that made it to where he can never be. He'll be the ruler forever. But otherwise, I'm not too worried about any of the others. It's what I'm worried about is right here inside what's happening.
Do you guys know like this is a planetary type an
Shift?
event?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a planetary attack. This isn't just a country or a state or a this is from my perspective, okay,
An
from
entire
my-
species.
Yes, there is absolutely, Heather. There has been infiltration on this planet, and well, I'll just go. I won't go this far, but I will just say it's a lot larger than most of us are aware of, and
I believe that.
yeah, it
Oh, yeah.
really is. I mean, and this is something I went through 6 years ago through my journey, where I was shown a lot of things that really took me back because I wasn't fully aware of this extra stuff that was going on within our world. You know, as somebody who meditates a lot, who journeys a lot, who's had lots of experiences and so forth, for this one to come into my consciousness and have that experience was so mind-blowing, but it took a lot. And I actually wrote a book I had so much information that was just pouring in. So from my own personal journey of coming to this realization of what's truly been going on within this planet itself, it gave me a lot better understanding for when it came, because I did know. I had seen what was happening, what was going to transpire. Now, I didn't see the end game or see exactly how it was going to play out, but I had known that these things had to happen in order for Gaia, let's call her Gaia or Sophia. I mean, there's so many names out there, Earth, whatever
Right.
you would like to call it, had to be freed now because
Right.
she was taken over. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'll definitely speak freely on it another night, but definitely I would love to share that part of my journey with you guys because it's mine and I can I can express it and share it.
Did
But
you
I would
publish?
love to hear that.
yeah.
And they don't call me a kook when I talk about all my weird stuff, so I think
Oh,
you're
I
good.
don't care about being called a kid. I was more
just
just
picking,
not
honey.
in the space. I mean, because people will think I'm cuckoo, and that's okay. I mean, because it's not their experience, right? Because if we
Right.
don't experience something and have our own experience, how can we
Happy chuckling.
speak on it and express it and it be our truth? Because this is my journey, my truth of what I want to do. And I know there's many others out there. Obviously, now I know there's so many others, and I met them when the journey with all that started, and I spent 2 years alone writing and really having like all this information come through. I came out when it was time for me to come back into the world per se. I was led to all kinds of people that were on that same page, and I was able to connect with other like-minded people in that space. So it was quite beautiful. So
That's awesome.
Did you publish your book?
no, I didn't. And you want to hear the saddest part of it all?
What?
Okay, so I was cleaning. One day I was cleaning and I was throwing a bunch of stuff away, and I happened to, I guess, put it inside the pile. But I do have one of the other books because there's two, and the second one, but the first one sadly was thrown in the trash. But and like they told, like I was, like I know now, but all that information's still within me, so I still have it. It's not like it's gone. I do recall a lot. There was so much, but it was more for myself than a book to share with anybody. I think at the end of the day, it was more about
Journal.
what they were showing me and teaching me about part of what was going on and stuff. So I don't know if it ever would have been published, but it's been quite a fascinating journey for sure, and it was a lot that
Oh, there's Gigi. Oh, sorry.
Gigi, good morning.
Devil.
Get
Hey,
your
I got
ass up here, Gigi.
I got a
Sorry, Bella. Bella,
I have a question
really
for
want to hear
Pappy.
your story.
Oh, I will share it one night for sure. What did you say, Robert? You leaving?
No, I got a question for Pappy.
Oh,
Is he still there?
I think he's still here. Yeah.
Yep. And unlike earlier today, I actually remember to zip up too.
my curiosity in all this universe stuff, right, started when I was in 1973. I seen an eye in the moon. Is there any Native American symbolism for that, or experience?
But an eye in the moon, no.
Yeah,
I saw
no.
an eye in the moon.
The way that the way that I learned about the moon was that the moon was the night sun, the night reflection. Okay,
Yeah.
the dark side reflection. The
Don't
light
lie
that
to me,
was in the
Gigi.
darkness.
I'll swear on my own life that is what I seen. I saw an eyeball in the moon.
She's home.
Somebody was saying, "I see you." Hi, Gigi.
Hey, Gigi.
You should do better.
Yes, she even ate when she got home.
Oh, good. That's a good sign.
Good, good.
Yes.
Probably
Hi,
clashed an arm and a leg,
Gigi.
right?
Hey, lady.
Did anybody?
Whoop, go ahead.
I was going to say, did everybody see my little note just now?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Her
Where?
name was mentioned
As
and her
I
little
said,
ears
you-
were
Don't
ringing.
be mad at me. If you went back and listened, don't be mad at me.
No, just need to correct a tiny little bit. 1 year down the rabbit holes. I do not believe in the tunnels and the children anymore. I do not believe in 700 people that are supposed to be dead are coming back. Fair?
I don't think there's that many, but I think
No.
there's a few.
There's definitely, and from my own, there is tunnels, but you got to remember, you got to find what resonates with you and leave the rest. At the end of the day, it's what resonates with you and your soul, and trusting that, and that's it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm not.
And that's
Sorry.
no. I just wanted to say, there's so many things that aren't true out there, and you'll know it by your own resonance, what seems right or feels right for you.
Yep. And now that I've noticed a couple people that I was following going, you guys are frauds. I should have known better, especially this tarot card lady. That was it kind of went, oh, Gina, she got you on that one. Damn.
Sadly,
They're
they
such
make a
nice
bad name
people.
for those that
Yeah.
truly read. Yeah. But you have that. You have that on both sides. You know what I mean? We're gonna have good and bad
In
Right.
everything.
in
Exactly.
everything. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, don't take me wrong on that note either. It's not that I'm not saying there's not a huge child trafficking issue, but I don't believe in all these tunnels that are going down around and through the earth and this way and that way, and there's superpowered trains and no. Just no. I'm back to myself and not ever believing that Satan exists and devil and whatever else. It makes no sense to me. Negative people, negative energies, like a
Yeah.
always whatever, back to my spiritual oneness or whatever else, get the garbage out. So that's why I feel like I've kind of gone back to my own normal stuff. Yeah, there's all kinds of shit. I'm still glad I know everything about Trump and all that. But yeah, because going down those rabbit holes of so many people supposedly being on adrenochrome and this and that, and now I've picked it apart going truth or lie, and now I'm actually, because I've had my view looked at it, I'm looking back at where did I go wrong and what I believed and and now I'm seeing where I did all go wrong and everywhere. There's no 800,000 children going missing every year. There's about 100.
Well, you bring up a good point, Gigi.
I
You
start
bring up a
thinking
good
more.
point. And a lot of people need to be doing this. Even though they're out there following on these channels and stuff.
Check,
If
recheck.
you hear the train whistle, the train's coming. If you can hear the train roaring in the distance, the train's coming. Okay? You can actually see the train going by where you're standing, but if it doesn't stop for you, it's not your train.
Exactly.
And there can be a lot of things out there. There's a lot of people out there that are sending trains down the tracks that's loaded with all kinds of cargo and stuff that's not for you.
For sure.
In that, and I'm very much like you. I leave the possibilities open because I do not discount the greatness of Creator or discount the toughness of those that have put themselves in opposition of Creator to do something. So the possibilities there. However, I'm very much a person of two eyes and two ears and one mouth.
Yep.
If I don't see it, if I don't touch it, if it isn't validated for me, then it is just a possibility.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm not
Until I've
going to
actually
run with
got.
it.
Yep.
It's good to see you, Gigi.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And Victor too. Yeah, I've got to realize I got to tone my voice down again. I'm in the garage. And Victor, yeah, I'm not offended by anybody. I just kind of went, okay, well, and I love you all being concerned. I love you all for sending me prayers and all that. And it's been great. I was actually messing around on my computer today. Ken was on earlier talking about his music, and I kind of got inspired. And I'm actually trying to make an intro just for something to do, shits and giggles. And I got stuck in my one site that I use wouldn't load or whatever, and I got frustrated, and I was like, oh, I should be going to bed because I got up early today because my driveway got paved. Yay!
Congratulations.
Yeah, so I was yawning like, 3 hours ago at least. I should have gone to bed then. Yeah, and then, I clicked over, who's here? Because from YouTube, it says 2 watching. I'm like, there's only a couple of people there, and I open it up like, well, there's one, what? And then all of a sudden I went, Gina, what? Huh? What? Oh. Chink. So I was sitting in the house having something to eat, and I'm like, I'm a little hungry. I'll eat something before I go to bed. And I saw that. I was like, now curiosity's peaked. And I'm like, I'm not going to go to bed yet now. I can't. Nope.
I'm glad we got you out.
You're all cool,
We
Victor.
talk about you all the time and tell you how much we love you, even when you're not listening.
That's my 3rd time then, right? I'll count that as my 3rd time of being woo-woo.
Yeah,
Coming on right at the right weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out
Yeah,
something.
'cause we had mentioned you a few minutes earlier, and it was like blah 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 blah.
Well, yeah, because Vic, and that's the only reason I ended up looking, because Victor happened to see I saw my name. I was like, oh, what's that about? And I went back a bit, and I hear a discussion. I went back a little more. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, okay, no. All right, I can't go to bed now.
What's nice about this, Gigi? This is a validation that we're all already connected.
Yes.
On a level that transcends, some people's understanding.
That's right.
And I'd like to bring up a point that Victor put down in the chat. He says, he was talking about, he was hoping that you weren't offended the fact that we were talking about you and stuff, because he made the point. He says that it was never an intent to say anything wrong about you or anyone else. The point is, we all need prayer, especially me. Okay. Now I'm going to take Victor's statement and put it into the context of the way that I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Victor is saying in his words what my belief is. We're all here to be in good relations with each other, to watch out for each other, to care for each other, to assist each other, to support each other, and to let each other stumble and fall on their own, and be there to help put Band-Aids on if they need it, or to give them a trophy if they deserve it. Okay?
Yep.
So in that context, we're all receivers of that type of energy.
For sure.
So when
I'm
your
going to
ears
brush
get
off your
ringing,
jacket, but I'm putting a kick me sign on it.
Or a big hug.
yeah, so when your ears ring from anybody from within this group, it won't be bad. It won't be bad if your ears are ringing from anybody in this group.
No.
Much love for you. You know that, right?
You just get your butt. Do me a favor. Get your butt out there and meditate for some focus and balance. Please, that's what you need.
You're right, Victor. We can't get away from each other.
Or meditate for an ice cream cone where there isn't some guy passed out on your bench.
Yeah.
Actually, it was funny because Bella said something about talking to the trees. I'm like, yeah, I've been looking at mine outside lately, and now it's getting really cold and yucky. But I'm like, yeah, I got all these trees around me, and I haven't even taken the opportunity to do that. Shame on me. Yeah. Right. I mean, nature's right out in my backyard. Mind you, I'm always in the garden digging and in my bare feet. And my husband's always, why aren't you wearing gloves? I'm like, because it's better this way. Yeah, put my hands right in there, get dirty, and be right in that earth.
Hi, have you met me?
My feet are always black, man. He's always laughing at how dirty, because I have to scrub them right off. Because you know how topsoil can be, and whatever leaves stains on your skin. It's like, oh, I really dug them in good.
Always talk to your plants. They do react.
Yes. Plant
Hey, I talk to my
medicine is
cats.
amazing. And speaking to your plant, like I have so many different types of plants. This year I didn't get a garden out here, but I do have rosemary and others. But anyways, yeah, even those I'll connect with them. So yeah, it doesn't have to just be a tree, even a house plant.
Yep.
True enough. I mean, I
I
get my
talked to
signs
mine
all the
today.
time.
Here's some water.
Yeah,
I know mine are.
I'll keep you alive, but that's it.
Don't die. Houseplants and I are no good. Okay.
That's
I'm not
funny.
really
I don't
good
have
at
the
the
biggest
inside.
green finger in the house for house plants either, but outside I do. They
Yeah,
love
me
it,
too.
but inside. But I think it's because I'm also a smoker, so
Can you see this?
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I hear it.
It's awful lot of filter work.
Yeah,
Well, that's what you got the plants for.
right. But they
You
don't
need
like
more
it.
of them.
Yeah, exactly. Like a
You
little
gotta spray
jungle.
them. If you're gonna smoke in the house, you gotta spray them down so you know they don't get the dust and the things sitting on their leaves.
Yeah.
That would probably help.
I don't smoke in the house, so I'm good. I smoke
Yeah, I
in the
never
front
have.
porch.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm naughty. It's too cold outside.
try Canada.
Yeah. Well, I'm right there. I'm right in Washington, so I'm just right next to you.
Gotcha. Yeah, right now I'm in my
No,
garage.
I'll be right back, y'all.
No.
Please. I've been waiting a while.
Yeah. Oh. Hurry up then.
I love y'all.
We love you,
Somebody pay him with
Victor.
water medicine.
Yeah, I love all you guys.
You too.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody in chat, we love you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
somebody mentioned because I had to go and look at another site just for shits and giggles too. Apparently, Mr. Liberty Warrior had a threat,
What?
and apparently it might be a mistake thinking he's Mike Penny.
Who?
Liberty
Who?
Warrior Mike.
Oh
Had a
no.
threat.
Yeah, I caught.
Last
Of
night.
course, it could be he. Oh, okay. So you're familiar. I kind of went.
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Huh? So I
I
don't want
did
to,
hear.
gossip, and then I got a couple of people talking, and then they're like, yeah, we think it was they think somebody came on there. Like apparently, a few people are getting mixed up between the two sites, whatever, because they're two mics or something. I don't know. But it's like, okay, people, get a grip on life if you're giving people death threats. Like, what's wrong with you? Jeez.
Well, tonight was ladies' night on
Yep.
Liberty.
Hence
So
why I
I
didn't
clicked
watch
on
it.
it and I clicked off as fast as I could go. Click, because I don't watch it when it's ladies' night.
So why do you go on and go click?
Because I forget it's
Fortnite.
Thursday.
Oh,
Because I'm an idiot and I forget it's Thursday. I click on it at 8 o'clock or whatever, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Click.
It is a tough night to be. I noticed Heather took a vacation. My sister was gone too.
Well, we were working. We're actually working on our house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Happy, I took a nap. I was in there late.
Yeah, unfortunately, walls
Yes.
don't go up by themselves.
I already
I
planned ahead,
tried
guys.
so hard mentally to make my walls go up by themselves, but I still had to go put the effort in.
We need to find the
Right.
seed sounds that levitate things.
Come do my
We need to
basement when you're
remember
done.
the seed sounds that levitate objects.
I could see it in my imagination. I could see it getting done
Right.
and all that hard work, and it just wasn't going up. I just didn't understand.
wish we had those
Visualization
problems
can
here.
only go so far.
I guess
You
gotta
haven't been
actually
leaving the
physically
right
do it.
food out for the elves at night, Jeff.
I was gonna
Right.
say.
The fairy are good at taking things. I don't know about building things. Okay, just saying.
You
I'm
just
stepping
remind
down.
The
You guys
borrowers,
have a
they love to
great
come and
night. I
borrow,
love
but-
you all.
Good night, Brenda.
All right, Dorinda, have a good night.
Have a good night,
Good
Dorinda.
night.
Love
Hi,
you.
Brenda.
Sweet
See you
dreams.
tomorrow.
I was gonna say,
She's
talk
such
about
a
some-
piss
Oh,
hot
she
boy. I love
left.
her.
Here left.
Talking
And her
about
name is
the-
Brenda.
I was just gonna say, talking about Thursday nights. I'm like, yeah, I already know. As soon as I get up, it's Thursday. Oh yeah, okay. What am I been doing tonight? Because I don't even open it. What else is on? What else is on?
It's a slow night for sure.
Yeah,
It's definitely a slow night and easier to.
Manage, yeah.
it's it's not my cup of tea. Just
Yeah.
no.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, even I used to have other shows that I would kind of watch, but now I don't watch those anymore either. Oh, so here.
Well, you could just spend your time watching reruns of Our Neck of the Woods.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Bonnie.
3 acres.
I do
Or
some.
Pappy.
I
You could
do
go watch Pappy's channel.
through
Yeah.
them too. Yes,
You totally should.
but what I've been doing is I've been having a bunch of tabs open too, trying to get Ken's hours up because he's getting so close. And then he was on talking about so Ken Carson's not on until Monday. He had some other stuff go on, whatever. What was the other thing I was going to say?
Good.
Yeah, I was kind of excited for. I don't know if Craig and Alan are doing the hair Friday tomorrow morning or not. What was the other thing I was going to talk about? I forgot.
I do that every day.
Yeah, I hear you. Wait moment.
You know, I get so I'm getting so turned off by channels that keep saying, "Oh, hit the like, hit the click. I need to have X number of hours. Here you go, join me. For such and such a money, and those sort of things."
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, they're getting sucked right into missing the whole reason that they started their channel in the first place.
Yep.
I mean, I don't have many subscribers. I don't care if I have many subscribers. All I care about, is if there's a message that somebody needs, and the creator will find a way for them to see it or hear about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it for me. So, once you allow those other things in to start taking control of how you're putting your message out, okay, you have to spend time to reinforce that control that you've allowed to take over yourself, because you're constantly mentioning it again or these sort of things, so it's like, for me, it's like me watching a TV program and shut the commercials off every time. I don't want to hear them.
Yep.
It's missing the whole point. And then when I see the chats going on over there and they're chit-chatting away and they're talking about everything but the subject matter that the host is talking about, I want to turn the chat off. So
or just get on topics that just have no interest.
So you see all that. Yeah, you see the dynamics of that, happening. So I think it's only natural for us to gravitate from one channel to another once those certain realizations come into, what it is that's resonating with us and what we're learning about this or learning about that. There's the Jerry Springer approach to gathering information is dying a very hard death, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, ever since all this computer stuff started coming up, my kids are getting a computer when they were kids. It's like, holy, what a different change. All I've ever said right from the beginning is, who's watching this stuff? Who's watching what's getting put out there? Who's double checking facts and where's the truth and where's the lies? Because now we're all such good computer people. Like, it's hard to decipher what the heck is real and what's not in front of your face anymore. Who's been playing with what? Like, eesh.
Well, and one of the other concerns,
turn it all off, live life.
I think one of the other concerns that I didn't raise, okay, is my my fear for some of the people that say, okay, I've changed my lifestyle a lot. Because this that I'm doing now is so much a part of my life that I'm going to make it my income. Oh, that's dangerous ground for me.
Yep.
Because you're relying on somebody else that's telling you what you can and cannot do in order to get that income.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And for me, I see individuality shifting away from an individual. And I only see that to be a position of conflict at some point in time. But you know, that people make those choices, you know, and
Yep.
when you see those, or when I see those, well, I'll tell you what happens when I see those. When I see those, I say to myself, ooh, I wouldn't make that decision, and I let it go at that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, because
Yes.
it's not my decision, you know.
Right. It's not the natural way. You know. That's, I'm learning that stuff. It's not the natural way.
Yep. That's what somebody was all, I will help you build your channel and get it big. And I said, I don't want it big.
Right.
That's not why I did it.
You and me, girl.
I didn't
I
even
know
know I had
exactly
a
what you're talking
channel.
about.
Well, I think I can remember your first live, Bonnie. You didn't want to even do that one.
No.
That was a big step for you. That was a risk.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
See,
put yourself out there.
there's some reasons to some of the things I do.
Mhm. You're a brat.
Well, at least you got out there, Bonnie, and I love it. So
That's right. You
glad
know,
you-
if I go on for say an hour or something after Liberty, then I got somebody that can continue on after me.
Mhm.
I can't handle these late nights.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You ladies need to work something out.
Oh, I'm fine for doing during the day. That's where I'm kind of going. I don't know about this late
One
night
does
night
an
thing
hour, the other one
and
does
whatever.
another
It's like,
hour.
That'd be
I don't
good
know.
because it's gonna be rainy season here. That'd be good for me.
I
Well,
try.
no,
Isn't it nice to have the freedom to be who you are?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just be who you are.
Right.
And Gigi, I try not to go as late as you did. 'Cause I can't.
I know, and it's easy sometimes. Some nights you just get so carried away. You kind of go, "Oh my Lord, I meant to go to bed an hour ago." But yeah, I just, I've got all day to do this too. Now that winter's coming, it's like, okay, that's why I'm trying to do something with my basement, because then it doesn't matter if it's day or night, because the only thing about the nighttime is keeping hubby awake, because I really don't want to come out in the garage when it's like super cold outside.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, how do I work? Okay, because he's saying he's going to hear it from up the vent, whatever. So that's why I've been playing around with it. Going, okay. So, did I get you?
Hey, plus I
Oh no, I was doing. Sorry, Lisa, I was doing an intro for somebody else. I'm messing around with somebody for something to do. And I'll send it to him when I'm done. And if he wants it and uses it, go for it. If not, I'm having too much fun doing these things.
Spit it out, Bella. I know you're waiting.
Oh no, I'm being inundated over here right now, trying to deal with extra stuff. It's a full-time position at Liberty sometimes.
Yes, it is.
It is, but I love it.
Well, I'm going to give you a lesson that I learned. People will give you more to do when you do it.
That's right.
The more you
That's
do, the
the
more
truth.
you'll get.
But I actually love helping, and so that is a space that I do enjoy being in. So honestly, it's not anything bad. It's just a lot happens in that space there, and that you have to be so on top of, and it's unfortunate, but yeah. I mean, sometimes it's unfortunate, but it's
Yep. Well, if
yeah.
you love the work you do, it isn't really work, is it?
Exactly, and it really isn't. I mean, yeah, it's really not. It's really not. I just wish a lot of things would stop overflowing onto that platform that's creating so much problems. But
Yes.
Well, Bella, I'm going to tell you the same lesson that everybody in here has learned. Okay. And that is interpersonal relationships is just a great field to be involved in. If you remember one thing, take people out of the equation.
yeah,
Because as long as people are in the equation, there's going to be chaos.
Yep. I didn't expect the crap that happened in my podcast the first 2 weeks I started, man. Holy. I deleted it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, you're from
Unfortunately,
where? You're from over where? Who are you? Who are you? Oh my. Okay, don't start fighting in my room now. Thanks.
yeah. And unfortunately, I mean, like Pappy was saying earlier, you have just a lot of mixing of energies that are butting up against each other, that have their own opinions, their own views, and it just, and to each his own. I just wish that they would stop having these little inner wars and going back and forth stuff. It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
It's just,
I mean, you got to learn to agree to disagree. You know.
yeah.
Oh,
But
I'm sure
some just
I've
don't.
offended a few people with my beliefs, but say la vie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make everybody happy.
Well, some
Yeah.
of that may be happenstance, okay, and just happen. But
Yeah.
some of it, because I've gone from platform to platform and seen the same pattern, some of it is being directed at certain types of platforms that might be considered to be oppositional or alternative to a narrative that is being put out. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the bugs that get attracted to the light bulb in the barn. After a while, they shit on the bulb so much that the light gets dimmer and dimmer, and eventually it overheats and it burns out.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to keep the light bulb clean, and that's what the moderators' jobs are doing. The hosts of these platforms need to be aware that that's happening, and keep their eye on the light bulbs. In other words, they've got to be the ones to set the rules and the regulations and things of that nature. Okay, because it will happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're lighting the light out there, it not only pushes back the darkness, but it attracts things from the darkness that want that light to go out.
Hence my Halloween
Right.
that creepy guy.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, I'm going to say this in a gruff old country boy way. If you piss on a hot light bulb, more than likely you're gonna make it pop.
Yeah. I have to
Well,
hold my tongue quite a bit some nights. I guess that's a lot to do.
That's where the woman's wet blanket from the water medicine comes in, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Exactly. I know.
well, I think the ones that are the problems are the Intel junkies.
Those
Ugh.
are the biggest problems, yes.
Yeah. Where's Jeff? Where's Jeff? Where's
Injection,
Jeff? Where's Jeff?
addiction comes in many forms.
Don't you love that one, Gigi? That's a given every night.
I know, eh?
Every
Just
night.
ridiculous. And then I'm sorry, he's a nice guy and all, but
Yes.
it takes him 10 minutes just to say something half
It's because he doesn't come right out and say it.
No, and that's where I'm like, okay, this is where
But that is the
annoyed.
position that he is in.
Yes,
So I mean,
exactly.
It's frustrating on one side, but you have to understand on the other.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But
Yeah.
then it's like, well, if you don't really have anything to say, don't tease with a tidbit because it's not doing any good either.
I just,
I
the
just kinda
only
laugh
thing
at
is,
this
I don't
5
mind
minutes.
Jeff B, but only thing is that he has a Telegram, and for people to come in and inundate chat, like 'cause we get what, over 20 at least a night. I mean, if we're lucky, maybe less, but not really. Asking for Jeff B, and
Yes.
and if Jeff B had something to say that was that important, he has a Telegram.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
and then they get mad because Jeff B is not on panel, and when Jeff B is on panel, they think people are not allowing him to speak, so they start getting rude.
I have a suggestion. We stop enabling these people to act like they are teenagers with no common sense.
Oh, I used to make
Well,
calls
things
to
are
them
changing.
going,
Keep
hello,
an eye
it's
out
not
for your
his
email.
channel. Yeah. I used to tell people too, going like, this is Liberty Warrior. This isn't the Jeff B show. Like, he's here and he's on other podcasts. Go follow him around. Like,
I see a lot of people saying that too.
Yeah. Yeah, and he definitely makes a very big presence over on Travis's now, so people can definitely find him where he is at. So,
Yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise. I was surprised to see him over there quite a bit lately. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't watch. I that's not my channel for me.
I don't either.
Me either.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot
I
of
just
us.
basically go to see if Shane's over there.
Yeah. Shane hasn't been around too much, to be honest, that I've seen. I mean, he pops in maybe every now and then for a second, but he's been at least resting and doing what I think he probably
Yeah.
is best for him at this point.
Exactly.
He goes to bed early now.
Good.
He's got to take care of him, which is
Yeah.
good. Somebody
But
slapped
he's
him
at
on the wrist.
Liberties. I mean, he does go there. He'll probably be there tomorrow night. It's Friday, so
Yeah. He's committed tonight.
yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Alrighty, well, I'm going to take off because I've been up since like 7 o'clock this morning. I got a pretty drive.
Came by, huh?
I had to laugh. My husband phones me up and he's like, "So, how's the driveway?" I'm like, "Good." That's it? Just good? I'm like, what was I supposed to say? He goes, "It's great." And I'm like, "It's a driveway." Like, I just look at him and the neighbor, because we're connected or whatever too. He's like, me, I'm going, that driveway could sit there for another 10 years for all I care. It's a driveway. But yeah, it'd be nicer to shovel and whatever else. But what are you gonna do? All right, so have a good night, and we'll catch us up with you tomorrow, I'm sure.
Sweet dreams.
Good night, Gigi. It was a pleasure seeing you again.
You too. Take care.
Thank
Love
you,
you all.
Gigi.
Hey,
Good
honey,
night.
have a good week. Right.
God bless.
You too.
Her ears were burning.
Yeah.
Well, that's good though. You I haven't seen very often is Charlie. Has anybody seen him around?
No, the last I saw him, he said he was working 6 days a week or something like that, and he's just wore out now.
Yeah, it's about the last time I heard it from him. And that was weeks and weeks ago.
Me too.
I'm sure he's fine, but
That's odd to say that, Bill. I was going to text him tonight.
oh, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about him. I thought about him over the weekend too. I was wondering, I mean, he was a face that was around a lot, and then all of a sudden he was gone. And I did reach out to him one night and asked him how he was, and he did tell me the same thing, that he just was working a lot of overtime and stuff. And, yeah.
Well, I find when somebody crosses multiple people's mind at once, maybe we should reach out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I will.
Well, we know he's awake right now. Should we all reach out?
I don't have his number, but go ahead. Charlie,
That's all right. Robert can. We'll leave it in your hands.
We're all thinking about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we do to. That's what we were doing to Gigi, and then she started coming over here.
Yeah, as soon as we mention her or think about it, she comes over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and it's 1 o'clock here. It's a little after 1 here, so we're gonna probably be hitting the bedtime too. I'm excited. We're very close to painting.
Nice.
Awesome.
Can I put out a request for collective energy?
Yes.
Yes.
Would you read Anna's message that she put in the chat at 1:09?
I see 10:09. Something is amiss. My dog's acting strange and pacing the floor and not safe, and she is asleep. Oh, I wonder if it's the medicine. Not sage. Okay, so it's not sage. Not
The
sage.
Let's just send the best possible outcome for her household.
It's sage, but it's not her acting.
The animals have picked it up, and Anna's picked up on it too. Okay, so.
And I guess she means her roommate is sleeping.
No, it's the dog. It's just, I'm pretty sure it's the dog, right, Pappy? Is she speaking of the dog? It's not Sage's normal behavior.
No.
The other dogs in there.
Yes, there's other dogs.
Her
other
Sage
dogs,
just came home from a surgery.
Strange
Yeah.
and pacing the floor.
and the other dogs are pacing and stuff, and Anna's getting an uneasy feeling.
They
Oh,
were-
okay, I read
They
that
weren't
sideways.
pacing earlier, though. They're pacing now.
So whatever
Whining and pacing.
methodologies that you're used to, we all know Anna. We've seen her smiling face here tonight. Anna, we're talking about you. I know your ears are burning. Okay.
Yes.
Send that highest energy there.
Yes. You must be picking up on some energy, something that's at play. Yeah.
You too. Go on. Go on.
You take care, Victor. Thank you for coming. Love you too.
Good night, you all. I love you guys. Love you all in
Love you
chat.
all too. Good night.
Jake and Heather.
Good night.
Thank you for having me.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank
Bella,
you all for coming.
Yes, honey.
text me when you get up tomorrow, lady.
Okay, I definitely will. Sorry. I definitely will, Heather. Love you all. And again, thank you for having me. And I will see you guys again soon. I'm sure of that.
All right. Give me a holler in the morning, Bella.
Yeah.
And
I will.
love, honey. Everything is well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give them a toot on your flute.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I don't do that one too well, but I love my drums. So
Bella,
or my
slow
rattle.
down, breathe when you need to.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Good night,
Good night,
Bella.
y'all. Love you.
Love y'all. Take care.
Good night, guys. Love you,
Night,
Becky.
Jack and Heather.
Love you, Bonnie.
Love you too. Thank you. Thank you all for joining me.
Thank you. Yep. For having us. Blessings.
Thank you for the campfire.
Yes. Good night,
We will
Pappy.
go back to the campfire tomorrow night.
Happy Veterans Day, sir.
Yes.
Love you.
Night, Anna. They just got down and laid down and got calm. Awesome. We were sending good vibes. Take care. Love you, hon. Good night.